you'll receive 12% savings on all services or great financing specials. Now is the time to get started. First-class kitchen updates with our own custom-built cabinets or Dunright's unique cabinet refacing, elegant bathrooms, top-notch basement finishing, and the finest in replacement doors and windows. Our family's been serving Colorado for decades, and we'd love to serve you too. Call and book your project now, and you'll receive 12% off regular retail prices or receive a great financing special. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right and done right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Hey, it's Michael Brown. Tune in Saturday mornings at 8 to discover how you can safely make 50 to 80% returns on your investments annually. Join my friend Barry Miller as he shares how Vestera Turnkey will produce and protect your growing net worth. Saturday mornings at 8 right here on K-House.
This report is sponsored by Gravina's Window Center of Littleton.
Mostly sunny and mild for us today with high temperatures in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Winds out of the southwest anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
When you choose Infinity from Marvin Windows at Gravina's Window Center of Littleton, a portion of every sale supports the Rocky Mountain Down Syndrome Association. Upgrade your home and make a difference this holiday. Visit windowsforyourhome.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeart radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. Never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. So far, no vote in the House of Representatives on a new spending plan. A bipartisan deal that had been agreed upon was torpedoed by President-elect Trump and Elon Musk this week. A different Republican plan was voted down, and now House Speaker Mike Johnson says there will be a vote on yet another plan. If a deal does not pass, the government will shut down at midnight, meaning some federal employees will not be working and others will be working without getting paid. The convicted killer of 2 young girls in Indiana 7 years ago will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Here's ABC's Dave Packer.
Richard Allen sentenced to 130 years in prison for the 2017 murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. 65 years for each murder. Sentences will be served consecutively. Also at sentencing, the families addressing Allen directly, breaking their silence imposed by a gag order.
It's going to be a very busy holiday travel week. AAA says 120 million people are expected to travel at least 50 miles from home between tomorrow and New Year's. This is ABC News. A family from Texas desperate for help with immigration after an emergency medical procedure disrupted a mother's court case. ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
Christina Salazar says she's sad and desperate. The mother of 4 is married to a U.S. citizen but came to the U.S. undocumented. Salazar had given birth to twins in Houston earlier than expected. Later, her lawyer says she tried to prove her case to immigration officials. They were immediately deported to a border town where she knew no one. Her lawyer saying Salazar had no clothes, no money. We reached out to immigration officials about this case but have not heard back. Salazar has since been reunited with her family in Mexico while her lawyer plans next steps.
An event celebrating the top restaurants in Los Angeles earlier this month left a foul taste in their mouths after at least 80 people got sick with norovirus linked to raw oysters. Santa Monica Seafood, who supplied the oysters, said in a statement to ABC News the company is aware of the incident and are cooperating with the Department of Public Health in their investigation. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
K-How News Time, 10:03.
The Broncos led by 11 points in the third quarter, but gave up the next 21 and ended up losing to the Chargers 34-27 last night. Quarterback Bo Nix says the offense needs to be more consistent.
First 3 drives, 21 points, and then just kind of stalled only 3 the rest of the game. So we got to look, at why that was the case. Got to look back at the film and watch and, be critical for ourselves.
The Broncos, who fall to 9-6, go on the road to play the Bengals a week from Saturday. They still control their playoff destiny with 1 win getting them in. Colorado lawmakers from both parties are voicing concerns over President-elect Trump's proposed mass deportation plan and potential changes to birthright citizenship. Republican Minority Leader Rose Puglisi emphasized prioritizing deportation of violent criminals while opposing restrictions on law enforcement collaboration with ICE. Both sides agree on the need for balanced immigration reform that considers economic and human impacts. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
A couple busy spots throughout the Denver Metro as we approach that 10 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 southbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. 6th Avenue eastbound, some stop and go in the off-ramp to I-25 southbound, slow traffic back from Federal. Northeast of there through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, seeing some congestion at Vasquez. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Out west, Colorado 119 north and southbound roads closed between US 6th and Smith Hill Road for an accident. I'm Mark Swan with traffic.
Everyone can agree that bullies are bad, but is there anything we can learn from them? This week on Red Pilled America, we tell stories of people facing off with bullies and the valuable lessons they've learned from them. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-277-7310. 800-277-7310. 800-277-7310.
Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. The talkings were hung by the chimney with care.
Thanks for taking my call.
In hopes they'd soon hear you're on the air. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas to you and your family.
From Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Yeah.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take your complaints. Our goal is to make your life a little bit better. It's car day, and man, it's right before Christmas. We got a full house. I love it. We're going to have to order pizza today, guys. Jeff Vick. We have Kimmer Transmission, of course, in studio. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Autotech. Jesse Schillinger, Honest Accurate in Colorado Springs. Guys, what is going on? We were talking a little bit before the show. You guys said it was kind of slow, but then it started picking up. What is December generally like? Although I used to be in the business, I don't even remember. I think December was kind of slow. Maybe it's weather related.
I think it's definitely weather related. But I mean, depends on when the holidays hit. If they hit on the weekends as opposed to a Wednesday, I mean that's brutal.
Middle of the week is brutal.
So there's a lot of things going against us this month.
It's just slow though.
It is what it is. No, I just take the opportunity. I give my guys the long weekend. Take a 5-day weekend.
So you will be closed
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah,
through Monday. How about you, Jeff? You open or what are you doing?
We are shutting down all of next week. We're closed Monday through Friday.
Nice.
So give the boys, that gives them 9 days away from the shop, a chance to clear their heads, spend time with family, watch the kids break the toys.
That's a hell of a nice one. Come on, Kevin, step up there, bro. Your employees
I thought I
listening
was doing
right
all
now.
right in 5 days.
Kevin's like, man, that was getting high five. What are you guys doing at Honest Accurate in the Springs,
We
Jesse?
are closing for the week, but we'll be there to serve your needs for New Year's.
So the whole week?
The whole week of Christmas.
And then you're open. You're not going to be open on New Year's, though,
Yes,
are you?
we are too. We'll be there New Year's.
You guys open New Year's.
We
usually
if
don't, but
we're
we're
going to
closing.
close for the weekend, might as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
We were very busy at the end of December because everybody wants to get their HSAs and they want to get their surgeries done while they have the vacation.
I got you. Well, not even why they have the vacation, but if they've already capped out
Right, yes.
and everything's free, if
Yeah,
you
so
will.
December was pretty busy for us.
Yeah, traditionally November's been our biggest month, but after the election, like the phones went goodbye.
It's because everybody was out celebrating.
They were. All I know is they weren't calling me.
Yeah, that's kind of funny there. I remember I did a audio for you one time for your phones, Jesse. Am I still on there, or do we replace it?
Nope, we got one with you and one with Tom, so anytime you call the shop, if we don't pick up, you get to listen to Mark.
And he had one guy saying, he had one guy call in, and he goes, who's that guy screaming at me on your phone?
My first complaint was about Marc Mager.
He's very aggressive answering that phone, he says. Man, we've got a lot cooking. Doc, real quick, you got any updates?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
Hit your button.
Yeah, I gotta find it.
All right, let's give him a second to dig those up. And then, Rick, what's going on with this apartment? By the way, it'd be nice if I gave the number out, 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. You can get through right now. Any car questions? Maybe you have a bad contractor in your life, a problem with an apartment like Rick. We're here to help. What's going on, Rick?
Well, I've had this apartment I've rented for 3 years. The first year I rented for a lease of 1 year. After that, she turned it into a month-to-month lease. And those 2 years, she really hasn't done anything. She makes excuses to do anything for the place. But recently I inquired to let her know that I was going to purchase a house, and the closing was until January the 3rd. I let her know since the beginning of December. I guess I'm not really familiar with the law, but I told her I didn't know whether I had to give her a month notice of vacancy.
Well, so when you were on the 1 year lease and that year came up and you switched over to month, what was there anything else signed after that, or it all went back to that original lease where it would go month to month?
She never had me sign anything. She just said we'll go off that yearly lease. We never signed anything.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking, Rick. I'm saying in that original year lease, when it expired, but you still live there and didn't give notice, does it talk about what happens on the month to month, or you don't know?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so you've been there for over a year on a month to month, and now you want to move out.
Right.
And what did you do? You gave her 30 days. What did you do?
Well, I talked to her on the 4th of December and told her what was going on.
Yeah.
And then I texted her back and said I wasn't sure how things are going to be working out. But I let her know, and she said, okay, let me keep me up to date. So I did.
Okay.
But I did recently just tell her that the closing's on the 3rd. She was letting me know, or told me that I would have to pay her a monthly fee because it was the middle of the month that I told her again.
Well, I mean, she wants to prorate it?
Well, no, she didn't want to prorate it. She wanted me to pay the whole month of January.
Okay. Well, when did you originally tell her you were going to be out, or it was just all in flux? You basically said, I'm not sure, but you must have gave her a range between what and what.
Yeah, I did tell her it was going to be January the 3rd.
So you told her, when did you tell her that? 30 days ago?
Yeah, the 4th.
Did you tell her by email? How did you tell her? Do you have by text? Is there something in writing?
Texting back and forth. That's all she does is texting back and forth.
So you told her you're going to be out on the 3rd, but generally speaking, your month-to-month lease would go from the 1st of the month through the month, right?
Right.
And can you get out by the 1st out of curiosity, even though you told her the 3rd? Is that even a possibility?
No, because we close on the 3rd.
Because you close on the 3rd.
It might be cheaper just to get a hotel room for 2 days.
Well, that's kind of what I'm asking them. So is she, I guess what I'm asking, Rick, is what's your landlord's name? Just her first name or his?
Sherry.
So if you told Sherry we'll be out on the 1st, does she still want to charge you for all of January?
Well, then she came back and she told me that just yesterday, she told me she might have some inquired people to rent this place. Then I told her, well, before that, the day before, a couple of days before that, she had sent me a text, and she says, I'll do even better. She goes, I'll give you till the 12th to get out, but you pay me half the rent. But you have to be up.
Honestly, I think Sherry's being pretty fair, but that's you. I think want to know more of the legality of it. So I'm going to try to get Brad O'Brien on and ask him. But I already know he's going to say we need to look at the lease. Is that something you have? Can you send that over in a PDF? The original lease, or you simply don't have it?
No, I don't have the.
Well, let's ask him in general. We'll pretend that lease, because you said it has nothing to do. It does not speak of the month to month afterwards, but I'm pretty sure it does. But if it doesn't, let's ask Brad basically what he makes of that. I think that's a good way to go. So hold tight. Kelly's going to get Brad O'Brien on during the break that we're going to take here in a minute. 303 Martino, 303-713-8255. We got a couple lines open. Jawad, I'm not quite sure if I pronounced that right, but I'll get to you after the break. Hey, guys, let me ask you guys something. So when you're closed like that, Kevin, I know you have a nationwide warranty.
Yep.
If you're closed and something happens, what happens? I mean, if they're within
we have
50...
an after-hours phone number.
Oh, okay. So if it's an emergency or something, they can still get
exactly.
with you.
You get.
Yeah, that warranty of yours is crazy. Jeff, I never asked you, what's your warranty?
Well, it depends on the scope of work we're doing.
Okay, let's say you put a new transmission in my vehicle or rebuild.
Our standard overhaul is generally 2 years, 24,000.
Okay, that's everything.
Yeah, you have an optional upgrade to a 3-year 50.
And do you suggest people do that?
It really depends on people's lifestyle. I mean, if you're going to drive out of the warranty in 8-10 months, which we have customers do that's where it becomes attractive.
Okay. And then, Jesse, what's your warranty at Honest Accurate?
Nationwide, 3-year, 36.
So you guys are basically the same program.
And we have an after hours,
And
too.
what do they call that?
Through Napa Auto Care.
So,
peace of mind warranty, they call it.
Peace of mind. So you guys are 50 miles apart. If someone had an alternator done or a starter.
We've already done that.
And the starter broke and
Text scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
I got to tell you about Discount Bath. How many contractors out there have the cojones, as I say, to actually put the word discount in? And the funny part is there's nothing discount about their service. The service is impeccable. The products are great. They can come in, remodel the entire bathroom, maybe make the closet bigger, maybe put another vanity in, swap out the mirrors, make the shower bigger. They can do the whole bathroom, including the flooring, everything. Or you can just have the shower itself redone. So it really depends what you want done in your bathroom, but they'll do it. They're going to do it at a discount price, and they're going to do a bang-up job at it. You're going to absolutely love it. I've had them out in our house. They're great people. There's no, everything's up front, transparent pricing. They come out, you talk different options, they give you a price. Simple as that. Then they can get moving. Some of just the shower conversions can be done, listen to this, in just a couple days. These guys are great. 720-979-2322. Call Chris and the gang over at Discount Bath. Check out all the projects they've done around town at discountbath.com. That's discountbath.com. K&H Home Solutions. These guys have been in business for over 68 years. They were established in 1956. They have had a couple owners over the time, but their warranties are absolutely great. Their service department is unbelievable. They have a new line of Alpine windows that are made right here in Colorado for Colorado homes. The energy efficiency of these windows is probably the best out there. If you have a house up in the mountains, you got to check these guys out. Go to khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com. And by the way, their entry doors are absolutely gorgeous. They have different lines of windows. Those entry doors are crazy. They can even do a roof if you want to tie everything into a hail claim. Siding. These guys are just unbelievable. KHWindows.com.
Hey, listen to this. There was just something on the news that...
What's that?
Biden canceled his week in Delaware.
Yeah, to come back.
And
I think the government's shutting down.
And Kamala also canceled her trip to California to race back to the White House. So something is going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. The government's going to shut the fuck down. And they don't want to be on vacation when the government shut down. Hey, Kelly, just put your rod
There
up.
must be,
I'll
yeah.
walk
It's
you
just so
right
weird.
after
There's one
we're
car
done
up
spending
there.
an hour talking to the guy.
You got anybody piss you, Mark? You got somebody up on the roof over there.
Where? Is there somebody? Is Trump in town?
No, there's a car up on the roof. There must be a parking garage over there.
Oh, there is on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know why you had binoculars.
Tripped me out. I'm like, there's a car on the roof.
Oh, my God.
Just one, though.
I don't know why he's got a scope.
Pull the blinds. Pull the blinds. What do they do with a bunch of glass on this?
Jeff, do you get into fixing, like, line code problems and stuff on some of these Jeep and Nissan transmissions? Or just scrap them?
What does that mean, line code?
Line pressure codes.
Oh, no. Usually when you have line pressure issues, you're generally getting into that unit.
Yeah. No, we got a guy with a 2014 Jeep pushing 100,000 and keeps throwing it in the limp mode and is throwing the line pressure codes. I mean,
Hey, what's your first name and what's your
pressure
question?
sensor. Yeah.
545 RFE.
All right, hold on, Larry.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, the line pressure sensor itself, they do crack and they bend. They go bad.
Okay.
They're a piece of cake to replace. They're up, a little above the pan rail on the passenger side.
So you don't have to pull the valve body out?
One bolt on the outside. So,
on the outside?
Uh-huh.
Well, you've got to drop the pan out.
Troubleshooter Show, what's your first name? Michael, what's your question?
Guys doing it. It's a 934 hydraulic pressure sensor circuit low.
Perfect. Hold on, we'll get Kevin lined up. Hold on.
So as long as it's an RFE unit, it's on the outside.
Okay.
It's above the pan rail on the passenger side, about 3/4 or more back. And it's a single bolt. Take it out, pull it out, pop a new one.
Well, that's what we're screwing with. My text telling me it's inside. I got to drop the valve body. La 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 la.
Nope.
I was like,
I sent you a couple of cars up here. They must sell cars cheaper up here.
I ain't saying anything. Yeah, the prices are stupid. Yeah, no, the last guy, nice guy.
Yeah. He's been a
Yeah.
customer for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, coffee, they'll get you.
I'm doing that fucking diet drug.
Are you?
I'm going to do it starting the beginning of the year. I just said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to cheat.
What was I heard Tom saying he did it?
How was that
He
cheating?
didn't do it.
No, I thought.
To me, it's cheating because usually this time, come January, Doc, I just basically quit all carbs, alcohol, everything, and start exercising every damn day, and I'll drop 30 pounds. But I'm like, fuck it. I'm hungry for 30 days. So now apparently I won't be hungry. That's good, right?
But you also don't eat Wegovy or one of those.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. We've got a lot cooking here today. It's car day, but of course we're taking questions on everything else. Kelly, did you reach out to Brad O'Brien for Rick on line 1 yet? Okay, I'll reach out to him. So maybe you want to come over here, Kevin. You can take over, and I'll go call the guest real quick, see if that'll work.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
That should go well.
Meantime, we'll go to Larry. Hey, Larry, what's going on with you?
Yeah, car day today. So I've always had this question in the back of my mind. I have a GM product. It's coming off of its 3-year, 36-mile warranty, and I was wondering, are aftermarket car warranty worth the price, or do they actually pay, or what's your panel's opinion of them?
So I'm going to give my opinion, then we'll ask the guys, because the really important part here is they deal with them all the time. They come in and they either get denied or they get done. I'm sure these guys will have different opinions on them and probably different opinions on different car warranties. But in general, I think they suck. And here's why. I think typically, if you're putting that money aside, which most people don't do, or if it's not a big deal, you generally have that much money on hand, you probably most likely will not max out. You will not hit whatever you paid for the warranty. So a lot of these warranties can be what, $3,000 or whatever, $100 a month, whatever they are. What I'm saying is you never actually do that. You end up selling the car before that, or something catastrophic happens, and a lot of these warranties have a cap. I mean, what's a typical cap, guys? $5,000, $6,000?
Yeah, depends on what you put in.
Yeah, $6-7 grand.
And honestly, what's an engine like on a 2021 Ford? If it needs a whole engine, on a truck, I mean, it's over $6,000, isn't it?
More like
10 grand,
12.
Yeah, 12 grand. So all you would have paid is $6,000 of it. Plus, you'd have whatever you paid in to the warranty in the first place. But guys, give your opinions.
Personally, put that in your own bank account. Pay yourself. If they're asking for $200 a month, just put $200 a month. You'll have it when you need it. They're not going to give you all your money back. When you need to use it, it isn't going to be worth using.
Is there ones that absolutely suck? Like anytime you call, they're like, no, not covered.
Absolutely. There's hundreds of them out there. 2 or 3 of them will at least pay some money with, customer has to pay the first 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
But 90% of them, you're never going to get all your money back. So just pay yourself. Put it in your own bank account. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You're giving them money, and then when you need it, you're getting the money back, and then there's an end to it. Oh, well, you paid us $5, but we're only going to give you $4 back. It's just not worth it.
That's,
I didn't know about the caps.
How about, well, hold on, Jeff, on transmissions. What you do for a living, those aren't cheap repairs. That's not an alternator or something. Typically, when you have one come in, is the whole transmission covered? Do they come out of pocket?
It all really depends on which warranty company you're dealing with.
What one would you go with?
I wouldn't go with one.
Got it.
So, but the simple fact, I've got one in there right now. He's going to be picking it up. It was a $7,100 ticket, and they did cover over $7,000 on that ticket. So he's just got his deductible and a few small things. Whereas I've got another warranty company. They covered up to the cost of a used transmission to put in there, and then the customer was out of pocket for the rest.
The other thing, thinking back to my automotive days, and it's probably a lot worse now, is they would come in their labor rate. They go right out of Mitchell's or All Data. So if the job costs for 2 hours and your shop rate's 150 or 200, whatever the average is now, they only pay $75.
Exactly.
I mean, you've got to figure out what you're going to do. You're going to charge the customer the rest?
Oh, we absolutely charge.
You have to, or else you're going to lose money.
Most of the warranty companies now, it's set up to where they'll pay you the average for your area.
Oh, that works out a lot better.
So, you get a claim from Alabama as opposed to California as
Way
opposed
different.
to, yeah, completely different.
Well, that's how it should be, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool they actually do that. So you got any other questions on that, Larry? There's not one person in here that thinks you should buy one. I never even buy them from the manufacturer. The other thing with car warranties on new vehicles, Larry, is you go in and you buy, let's say you buy a new Hyundai Santa Fe. You get a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper, and you get a 10-year driveline. Here's the problem when they try to sell you an extended warranty. It coincides with whatever you already have. So if you buy a 7-year warranty, all you're truly buying is 2 more years. They coincide with it. They totally rip you off, in my opinion. And that's just not Hyundai. That's every manufacturer.
Absolutely.
Ford will sell you an additional 2 years, but call it a 5-year warranty because the car comes with a 3-year warranty. So I would never buy anything on a new car. How about service packages, guys? I think they're the biggest ripoff ever.
Same thing. Yep.
Well, unless in some Europeans, it's probably a good thing.
Well, maybe, but still you're paying, say, $3,000, say on a BMW for oil changes and some other BS for the first couple of years, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The first time you're out of town and need an oil change, you got to go to that dealer. You got to do all this other stuff.
Yep.
I just think it's crazy. And the pricing is nuts. They could come to you guys, and you guys would actually do the exact same oil change, same oil, same everything, for half the price anyhow.
It's for convenience.
Anything else, Larry?
No, you guys have been very helpful. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. We appreciate the call. 303-713-8255. I lost a good friend of mine. We used to call him Lair Man. He died God, it's been a while. That poor guy, he lost his son in a car accident. Coming back, him and his friends were moving out to California. They were like 20 years old. I hate to bum anybody out, but whenever I see the name Larry, So his kids went out there. They spent the summer out there, his son and two friends, and they were driving back after the summer. The driver fell asleep. There was no drugs or alcohol, and went off the road asleep, and they didn't have seatbelts on, and the vehicle turned over. And Brian, his name was, fell out of the car and got crushed by the car. He died instantly. The other guy was really messed up. Danny has traumatic brain injuries and stuff. But the driver that fell asleep, ironically, was the best coming out of it. I mean, I'm not going to say he walked away by any means, but it was there. But then this poor guy, listen to this, probably 6 years later, his daughter was coming to visit for Christmas or something from Wyoming. On I-25, she fell asleep, went off into one of these fields where there's nothing. The only thing in the entire field was this cement watershed, and the damn car ran into the watershed, and she died almost instantly. Lost two kids, and then he died a few years later. But to you, Lair, man, I'm going to take a quick break. Rick, we're going to come back to your apartment issue. I got Brad O'Brien on. We're going to help you with that. Mike's got a problem with oil. And then Barbara still hasn't received anything from Panacea. I guess we're just going to have to light them up. Everybody hold tight.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
A couple busy spots around the Denver Metro as we approach that 10 o'clock hour into downtown. I-25 southbound showing speeds in the 40s and 50s between I-70 and Spear Boulevard. 6th Avenue eastbound, some stop and go in the off-ramp to I-25 southbound. Slow traffic back from Federal. Northeast of there through Commerce City, I-270 westbound, seeing some congestion at Vasquez. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Out west, Colorado 119 north and southbound roads closed between US 6th and Smith Hill Road for an accident. I'm Mark Swan with traffic.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll tell the story of famed abolitionist Frederick Douglass in his own words. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
TheArtofGranite.com. These guys are unbelievable. You want the most beautiful countertops out there at a ridiculously low price. You got to call up Mitch and the gang over at the Art of Granite. And I'll tell you something else Mitch Floria does. He'll give you an estimate right over the phone. You take a couple pictures of your current bathroom or whatever project you're doing, and he'll tell you how much it's going to be for nice new granite or quartz or marble, whatever you want. We've used them numerous times in our house. We couldn't be happier. We'd use them again anywhere we move around here. But check them out at theartofgranite.com. That's artofgranite.com.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, everyone is safe, even the mouse. The family was sleeping, tucked in with care, with Daddy's Triple J training no intruder would dare. There's ammo, accessories, pistols, and an indoor range to boot. Visit Triple J Armory for all your Christmas loot. Our big Christmas sale is all month long, with savings on firearms, bulk ammo, and accessories for your gun. TripleJArmory.com for all the info you seek. Triple J Armory in Littleton and Colorado Springs.
Hello, Steve Powers here from Audi Denver. The season of Audi is here, which means it's a perfect time to get behind the wheel of your dream Audi with legendary Quattro all-wheel drive. Receive a $5,500 customer bonus when you purchase or lease a new 2024 Audi Q5 plug-in hybrid. Come visit one of our Audi brand specialists today. The ideal shopping experience awaits you with a personal test drive at 6060 South Broadway in Littleton, or visit AudiDenver.com to schedule an appointment with Colorado's premier Audi dealership.
Will you have the income you need for retirement? Worried about your investments? There's something you can do about it. A plan guaranteed in writing not to lose a dime. Guaranteed returns. Income for life. Call now for a free retirement evaluation and get a free best-selling book by certified financial planner Joe Chiano. 303-779-6600. The book, Smart Money Moves. And it's free. 303-779-6600. Free retirement review and a book. 303-779-6600.
Men, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're experts in treating ED. And as a Promedic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season. A renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
An MRI indicated I had some degeneration in my neck, making it difficult to look fully over my left shoulder. But knowing what QC Kinetics had done for many of you, I had their regenerative medicine performed on my neck, and the results were amazing. I want you to take the same action I did for my neck and call QC Kinetics today. Say goodbye to your joint, knee, and hip pain with QC Kinetics Advanced Protocols. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroids, no more surgery. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties in your own body to get you moving again. This is the future of joint pain treatment. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation and use those HSA and FSA dollars. And with clinics in Superior, Aurora, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs, there's a clinic close to you. Get started on your best life for 2025, but do it today. Call for your free consultation, 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986.
Holiday time in Colorado. Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens, Baths, Finished Basements, Windows, and Doors. Putting off your home update till after the holidays? Well, with the busy holiday time here, Todd and I have put together an awesome holiday special to tempt you to get started sooner than later with holiday savings. So here it is. For select install dates, you'll receive 12% savings on all services or great financing specials. Now is the time to get started. First-class kitchen updates with our own custom-built cabinets or Done Right's unique cabinet refacing, elegant bathrooms, top-notch basement finishing, and the finest in replacement doors and windows. Our family's been serving Colorado for decades, and we'd love to serve you too. Call and book your project now, and you'll receive 12% off regular retail prices or receive a great financing special. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Hey, Brad O'Brien, he's one of our experts at referralist.com. He knows anything about real estate law. This guy can do it all. He can look over your lease. He can create a lease for you. He can help you buy a property. He can make sure the seller's docs are in order. I think you get the idea. Maybe here's another one that happens a lot. 2 people that aren't married actually buying a home. Real quick, Brad, there's a lot of different ways you can purchase a house, but when you're doing it with like either a friend or maybe a sibling or something, I mean, that's something you really want to think about, right? I mean, that's not something you would just normally go in and do a typical deal.
Yeah, people who are not married to each other and are buying like a house together really ought to have a written agreement that covers a lot of different areas, like who's responsible for expenses, and really importantly, when somebody wants to sell, what do you do?
Well, that's the part that would be crazy. Maybe I don't mind living with Kevin, but if Kevin wants out and then all of a sudden he's willing to sell to anybody, and next thing you know, I got to live with someone that drives me insane, that would be crazy, man.
That's right. If you call in to somebody, they could sell their interest to somebody else.
He sells to Doc, and all of a sudden I'm screwed.
Yeah, any
you have no
owner
idea.
has the right to occupy.
Yeah. So anyhow, Rick called up. Here's what he says. We don't have a copy of the lease, so I already know you're going to say, it's probably in the lease, but it doesn't matter. So to the best of your knowledge, the best guesstimate, he was in a 1-year lease, and then when the lease came up, they just went month to month. He's been month to month, and let me ask him, Rick, you've been month to month for over a year as well, right? You've been there about 2 years?
Yes.
So he's in month to month now. He told the landlord about 40 days ago that he was going to be moving out on the 3rd of January. He's buying a house. They close on the 3rd. She's like, okay, keep me informed. Then she came to him and said, hey, we're going to go ahead and I want you to pay for half of January and you can move out on the 12th. he doesn't want to pay for any of January, or, of course, he just wants to pay the proration of the 3 days. But lack of nothing in writing, and let's pretend there is nothing in writing, even in the original lease, and I find that hard to believe that there's nothing about what happens at the end of the 1 year term. But just give me your thoughts on it.
Well, under Colorado statute, if there is no written lease provision on this topic, then it's a 21-day notice that is required to terminate a month-to-month tenancy. And you give that notice 21 days in advance of the last day of the rental month.
So when did you give that notice, the exact day, Rick?
On the 4th of December.
In 21 days, so he really doesn't owe her a penny.
Well, did he say that he's moving out at the end of December?
Yeah, what did you tell her?
That I'd be out by, the closing was January the 3rd.
So he'd be out by the 3rd is what he told her. So basically, because the new rent went in, he could actually owe for the whole month? What are you saying?
Oh, is the rent normally due on the 1st of the month, of the calendar month?
Yes. First
okay,
month.
So when you're month to month and you start on the 1st, you have to buy a whole month. So since you're using a couple days in January at the old place, you really have to terminate as of the end of January. So it sounds like this landlord's doing you a favor by saying you only have to buy half the month of January.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, I think her name was Sherry. I think she's doing right by him because she's only going to charge him half a month, and he technically would have to pay the whole month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rick, okay. You got any other questions?
No, that was it. I was just making sure. And she did say, I just remember what she said, that if she gets this rented and the tenants can move in by the 5th, then she wouldn't charge me for anything. So.
Oh, that's really nice, too, of her. I mean, she sounds like a decent landlord.
Yeah.
Well, compared to a lot of them we get.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I've been in a couple of those.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Rick. You have any other questions, you can call Brad O'Brien directly at 720-370-7388. Hey, Brad, I always bring this up when I have you on, but real quick, all the changes and leases in Colorado over the last 2 years, I mean, there's different things you no longer can do. In fact, you can't even really get rid of a tenant just because their lease is up, except for under certain circumstances. But how many landlords do you think are out there listening right now, or just in general, where their leases have provisions that make 0 sense anymore?
I think probably more than half of landlords who own one or just a couple of properties, mom and pop type landlords, are probably not up to current law on changes that we saw in the last 2 years, in particular this last August.
Think about that. Over 50% possibly of the leases out there are not up to snuff. That's crazy. So Brad can look at them. And really, when we talk about lease, there is no template in Colorado, at least, for a lease. In other words, each one's different. So when we say create a lease or look over a lease, there's really, you probably wouldn't want to take a lease that's 4 or 5 years old and start like as a boilerplate and then modify it. It's probably much quicker and more efficient to actually just start from scratch, right?
Drafted, if it was well drafted, I could work with that.
You can, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've kind of, I was thinking of making a lot of changes in a trust we had, Brad. I know you have nothing to do with the state law, but every attorney I talked to, including Mackenzie on the referral list, he's like, there is no way you're going to be paying someone to look over 100 documents instead of just starting from scratch. You follow what I'm saying, Brad?
Well, sometimes it makes a lot of sense to reuse and update an existing landlord form because they seem to grow and be built up the way the landlord likes it in response to things that they've seen in the past. So their hot button items already baked into their existing lease form. So that in that case, it makes sense to just update it for current law.
Do you do a lot of lease reviews, people going to rent property for a business? I mean, commercial stuff?
Yeah, I assist landlords and tenants on leases, both residential and commercial. So
in a lot of times, back when I was renting property constantly, either for the Goodyear stores or computer stores or whatever I was doing at the time, triple net was pretty much the going thing. Is that still the same thing? And that basically means, but go ahead, you explain it.
Triple net is where the tenant pays all the expenses, including real estate taxes that are due on the premises, insurance, hazard insurance, and also just basically and utilities.
And the other big thing people don't look at, so when they're, let's say it's a first-time person opening up a coffee store or something like that, whatever it is, if you don't know what you're looking at on that lease, you're absolutely crazy not to call somebody like Brad. It'll get into stuff you think if you're doing really successful, you're just doing absolutely great, and all of a sudden the 2-year or 3-year lease is up on this commercial property, and somewhere in that lease says, okay, everything goes up 40%. I mean, the option is horrible, or there is no option, or even worse than that, you find out you've got to do a personal guarantee, which, depending on what side you're on, but most of the time on your lease buildings, guys, do you guys have to, you all three lease, right, or do you own the property?
I own the property.
So you own the property. You guys...
Yep, and there is a personal guarantee.
Yeah, you personally...
Yep,
is that...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's as normal as hell these days, too, isn't it, Brad?
As a starting point, personal guarantees are generally required on smaller type leases, but what you can negotiate to burn off that personal guarantee. Maybe it phases out over like 5 years.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Once again, negotiation. That's why you want to use an attorney to look at this stuff. All right, so here's Brad's number again, 720-370-7388. Merry Christmas, Brad. I hope you have good holidays. And
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Thank you, sir. 720-370-7388. Brad O'Brien, man, he's on all the time. There's a lot of issues these days in Colorado with landlords and with tenants and with different rules and restrictions now. It's really bonkers. Okay, Chris has a question on warranties. Mike has an issue, I guess, with oil. We'll get to that. And then Barbara, we're going to hop on that call as well. One line open, 303-MARTINO.
An oil issue.
Goddamn hands.
What's that? I got to figure out what was wrong with our oven, man. That dude's out there.
Is it a factory guy, or you got to call your own people, or
say that again?
You got a warranty on it? I mean, did they send somebody factory, or is that?
No, there's no warranty on it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm going to show you those tracks.
Oh, cool. Hold on. I want you to reach out to the guys at Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. They have an approach to retirement that's unlike anybody else. They're not going to simply tell you what they think you should invest in. They're going to talk about your needs, your cash flow. They're also going to talk about what they refer to as the 5 pillars, which are income, of course, the different investment tools, taxes, healthcare, and then legacy. Maybe you own a small business. What do you want to happen to it? And, but they literally will go over and help you with Social Security as well for optimal benefits. They're going to put every single dollar they can to work for you. They'll talk about long-term care planning, the estate planning. They really look at it as an entire part of your life, not just the financial aspect. They can help you with even the Medicare side of it. 40 years of helping people. They believe in the safety, the income, and, of course, the growth for your retirement. Reach out to them at rpcenter.com. That's RP, as in retirement planning, center.com, rpcenter.com.
Just push play.
Oh, let me see that. I've seen school buses that have some wild shit. God, I have never seen anything like that, man.
Mark wants something to tear around his neighborhood.
Look at that thing.
He's going to want some for his neighborhood.
Yep.
So you drive.
You just drive onto them.
And then they strap on. And then you back on. Wow, I wonder what those cost.
But I tell you what, if you ever get stuck in tracks, you are stuck.
Yep.
You're stuck.
Yeah, there's no getting out.
Oh, my goodness. That is so cool. What do you think those run for real?
I'll probably look them up.
Who makes them?
Yeah, but you'd have to go somewhere for that installation. You're not going to have that set up at your house, most likely. How much did yours cost for your side-by-side?
It They were about $4,000.
That's not as bad as I would have thought, actually. Can I put them on my Tesla?
That would be a trip to see that. Yeah.
Did you guys see that guy in the Springs? He runs around like in a little Model 3 or Y, and he's got a hitch on the back that's got a platform, and he's got a generator on it that has a connection going into the charge pit.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. What? It's like the worst hybrid ever made.
Let's see. All-wheel drive cars, so we took a look. They got a Dominator for the all-wheel drive cars. Track systems.
They're saying out here freight is by itself is $1,500.
What is?
Freight to ship them.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
Let's see, these are bolt-on, the ones I'm looking at here. You can get a track system where you put it on similar to mine, where you just bolt them onto the hub.
They're probably $6-7 grand, I imagine.
You bolt them right onto the hub.
Take tires off, put them on a hub.
Track and go.
I'm trying to find a price.
So I got I told you guys, I got a message that my car was due for something maintenance. What could possibly be maintained on an EV that has 5,000 miles on it?
Nothing.
Exactly, so I'm just ignoring it.
Dude, I've got 40,000 miles. I have not done one thing. Tires. I had to put tires on at 30.
Complete track and go systems for trucks cost 25 grand.
25 grand?
Yeah, that's what
That's for those drive-on ones?
Yeah. Includes 4 tracks and 2 loading ramps.
Met some of his coaches.
Well, for 25 grand, he's a whole other vehicle.
Well, if you guys have been thinking about what to get me for Christmas.
Hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yeah. You could both chip in, and that takes half the weight away.
Speaking of which, I did find that you can use those pellets in place of the chips.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, because they're just really compressed wood.
Yeah.
But they, in most cases, they recommend getting those smoking tubes because they don't generally produce as much smoke as a chipper. So, but I'm going to put it together over the weekend, and we're going to smoke a prime rib for Christmas.
Oh, nice. I don't think I've ever done a prime rib. Have you?
I deep fried one.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've never done a prime rib.
And I was nervous as hell. Dropping that $100 piece of meat in the fryer.
Do you put your meat in cold?
Prime rib.
In a cold machine, or do you preheat it first?
I just counter. I mean, it wasn't cold, but it was room
One
temp.
says
No, I mean the machine, the smoker itself.
No, but by the time I seasoned, let them sit out. I mean, they've been out for an hour or two.
How.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. I'll let you know when there is a line open. Now, let me see where we left off. But first, I have to tell you about Paul the Waterman. Some of the best water systems out there for less, and I mean that. We bought one from Paul probably about 6 months ago, Suzanne and I. I, of course, shopped around. I'm very thrifty, and sure enough, he was not fooling. He was less. He was more than 50% off. We had some estimates come back at $8,000 for the softener, the whole home softener for our size house. And Paul put it in for, I think, $3,500. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was a great price. The product's better. The warranty's great. And there's really no maintenance on it. I mean, it's pretty cool. Waterpros.net. That's waterpros.net. Now, let's see. Vapor Lock. But who's been waiting the longest? Is Chris the same one? Did I already talk to you, Chris, on warranties, or is this another question on warranties? Chris?
Yes. This is another question.
Oh. Go ahead,
I have
sir.
I have a 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee sitting over at Sheridan Auto right now. Okay. And I dropped it off before Thanksgiving. And I have a warranty company with Fidelity. And I had a water pump leak and a misfire code
Ooh.
on cylinder 3. So Sheridan looked at it. At first they suspected a camshaft, and then they called the warranty company the second day, and they had to verify, and I had to give approval for them to do a teardown.
What warranty company was it?
Fidelity.
Fidelity. Keep going. I think you said that. Go ahead.
Okay, and then, so I don't know what the communication loss was, but for some reason, this has been going on for weeks and weeks. And now Sheridan thinks it's a head gasket because there's oil seepage. And they can't verify the misfire. They verified the water pump. Fidelity said they'll cover the water pump, but they won't cover the head gasket because it's just seepage and it doesn't warrant a replacement.
Well, that's crazy. Well, the good news is Kevin's sitting right here, the owner of Sheridan Auto Tech. Are you familiar with this one, Kevin?
I am, and the warranty companies are getting very frustrating because we waited, I think it was a better part of 3 weeks for an adjuster now.
To come out and look
at it so we could continue on with different things. And I think the customer, he ended up hollering at him like, what the hell are we doing?
Let's talk about the seepage. So if you guys did just the water pump, and they're saying the head gasket is, well, I guess they're saying it's fine. I mean, I've never heard
saying it doesn't rise to the level of a repair. Which
is he going to be okay when he leaves if they don't pay for that, or if he doesn't, or is that going to create another problem?
If it stays the same, he'll probably be okay. But if it progressively gets worse, then we just have to go through this again.
Go through it again and get the head gasket done. Yeah. So, Chris, it sounds like they just drug their feet forever. I mean, what can we help you with right now?
Well, I was just wondering what, like the question you just asked, is it going to hurt me here shortly? And I'll be going through this again. Like I said, the Jeep's been there since.
Yeah, and he doesn't. Kevin doesn't have a crystal ball. I kind of liked his answer. Like, yeah, if it doesn't get any worse, it'll probably be fine. But yeah, if you got to go through this again, that really sucks because I mean, this company took 3 weeks to get out there, so they had to put eyeballs on it, huh?
It's typical on bigger repairs. I mean, something like a water pump, they may not have sent someone.
So he literally came out, your guys talked to him, and he's like, no, it's just seeping.
Yeah, well, Jeff knows the guy. It's the same adjuster a lot of them use.
Well, what do you think, Jeff, of this guy?
Well, it's all up to the adjusters what they see, and they're not really working for the warranty company per se. They're not a warranty company employee.
Yeah, but that's who they're getting paid by.
They're getting contracted out, and they accept them, similar to appraisers.
Yeah, of course.
So, but they don't have a decision making. They just report what they see, and the warranty company makes up their mind.
See, what I heard here though was that seepage, and it reminded me of one of the Santa Fe's I had. I had you look at it right at about 98,000 miles. I brought it over to Jeff. I said, just eyeball it. The powertrain warranty's going away any day here. And he looked at it, and what was seeping on it? It's not called the transmission, but it is.
It was the PTU, the power takeoff unit, transfer unit.
So he said it's seeping. He documented it. I brought it over to McDonald Hyundai. They put it up in the air. I had a brand new transmission. And that was seepage. I never saw one drip. But then this guy comes out, we talk seepage, and it's a different answer.
Yeah. And they're all different. I mean, we have another one. I mean,
but there's nothing you're going to do in this guy's case anymore, Chris's case, because you've already fought the fight and you just didn't win that battle.
Yeah, and there was nothing to do. I mean, if we had a stream of fluid hitting the ground or something, they would be required to fix it. But they're all sneaking out of things.
Chris, I mean, you're kind of stuck, and they're not saying they wouldn't do it if it got worse, right?
Oh, no.
It just becomes another 3 week,
it's just trying to get the warranty
deal.
to step up and pay for it.
Yeah. Well, and even manufacturers are getting to this where they're looking at things and they're calling it seepage, and they're not covered under man warranty.
Yeah, that sucks. They're just getting sneaky.
Another quick question is, like, when I got the misfire code, the Jeep stumbled and it had a hard time to start and everything. So I'm just...
What was that, Kevin?
Well, the problem with that is what they call, when we got it, it was called a stored code. So it wasn't an active misfire.
And it still hasn't.
And it still hasn't, so we can't document an absolute
and then when,
of
course, the adjuster's out, there's nothing to show them because it's not doing it.
Yep.
So that's just something else you're going to have to look at, Chris. I mean, that could have been anything. But you know what? I know you're in good hands. Listen, we've got a lot cooking. William, Barbara, Mike, everybody hang tight. We are going to have one line open, and that's for you. 303 Martino. Don't forget help at troubleshooter.com. We're going to order pizza.
Yeah, that would suck.
Now, do you also run the smoke for the entire cook?
Yes.
Yeah. Including the sear?
Well, see, with mine on a Traeger, there's not a lot of different levels of things, so I don't have a sear on this or anything like that. So mine just rolls low temp. Well, yeah, you go up to 500 degrees, but what are you cooking?
Prime rib.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I always do like a reverse sear with.
That's
with
what
beef.
I'm talking about doing.
Yeah. Just run it low and slow till you get it up to about 120, and then throw it. Like an 800 degree oven, as hot as you can get it.
Oh, so take it off the smoker and put it in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you can get the smoker up to temp.
I don't know if I can or not. It'll be my first time even trying to smoke, much less with this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always like to cook the meat up to temp, in the smoker low, so it rolls. Probably on a rib, you want to take it off at 135 anyway, because when resting.
Well, all the videos that I've tried watching. Yeah. Some put them in the oven. Some are doing it inside their smoker. They got much more expensive smokers than I got.
Oh, yeah,
so I don't know if I was able to.
Yeah.
Fancy smokers.
But they're taking it off closer to about 120 to 122, resting it for 20 to 30 minutes before they put it in the sear.
Yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways of doing it. But, I try to get it up to 105, because when I do real thick steaks, I do that reverse sear. I'll put them in the Traeger on just low. Once they hit about 105, I take them out and then sear them real hard on the grill and let them set. So, yeah.
I do a reverse sear at home. The steaks are great.
Oh, yeah.
It really works.
What did he find out?
Especially thick ones. It's so hard to cook.
Yeah, I'm here. What did we find out on the oven?
Well, we got another warranty company we're dealing with. It's one of Rodney's customers, JFR. And his
nice. So he's already gone. He just had to order a part.
The head is leaking in the exhaust.
Okay, cool. When did he think we'd have it?
In the casting.
No. Did he say the issue was just the self-cleaning is what did it?
Yep. Is it an escape? Yep.
Boy, what a shitty design, huh? All right, bye.
I've had 2 of them now from
Cool.
CNA.
Was he Russian?
Dude, the fucking phone wait time has been absurd.
Belarus. Okay. Yeah, I heard they're really
I've
good.
gotten to the point
All right,
that
bye.
I've raised my labor rate if I'm dealing with a warranty company.
We're $200 warranty.
You have to, because they're still going to try to beat you down, no matter what you do.
This one, though, is tore down, on a lift and all this, and, wait. Finally got an adjuster. We had a video from a machine shop who pressured it, because we couldn't tell from the scope where the leak was coming from, because it's up in the exhaust port. So he's got a video on his pressure machine bubbling away, and the first question is like, well, how do I know that this is that head?
Oh, my God.
And it's just like, I waited 2 weeks.
The Ford Escapes are the worst, too.
And then, they couldn't even tell from the video, but they declined it because they said it was leaking from the seam. It's like, well, what difference does it make? It wasn't leaking when the guy bought it. It's got, it's 90,000-mile Escape he bought for his daughter.
The newest thing we have is the virtual inspections. Now they want you to videotape your inspection and send it to them. And then they'll argue that, well, the VIN is this, but that engine doesn't match. It's like, I'm standing here with the video. You don't want to send somebody out? Come on now.
No, I hate
anything they can
delay,
do to get away
delay.
with this. Yep.
Well, no, you send them pictures, and
Piss them off long enough, they'll
a
just
week
pay.
later you get an email. Picture number 26 is unclear. Well, the freaking car's not even here. The customer's driving it.
That's delayed.
Well, I was telling them Rodney's got a heater going with his warranty company, JFR. Yeah, they declined one on a customer.
It's his vehicle or his warranty company?
His warranty, the company they sell.
Oh, they're saying it was pre-existing?
Well, no, they're saying it's not covered because it's a material defect as opposed to a failure.
Oh my God,
he's pissed. And the guy just paid $18,000 for this Escape for his daughter.
So what are they going to do? He's going to have to fix it.
He's going to end up.
We're all, they keep looking at me, and I'm like, hey. I'm not part of this party.
How am I part of this?
I didn't break it. I just fix it. So
I got it tore down, choking up my shop for 3 weeks now. So I wish you guys would get on the ball here.
Somebody make a decision.
Because it's in a box now and it's getting pushed out. One thing I'm not going to do is push it in and out every night. So.
No.
Agree with that.
Because you got to drop a cross member out of them to get the head off. The turbo's in the way, and it's just like it's not just pushing the car out.
We tell customers the same thing. Once we tear them down,
Yeah.
Someone's got to make a decision, or it's going in the corner, and that's where it sits. I will not put it back together.
Well, I have to put some of it back together to be able to roll it.
Make it rolling jacks.
Yeah.
Right. And then they're like, well, you don't push it in on the weekends? Why would I do that?
No, I'm not going to touch the car until you tell me you're going to pay for it.
So if someone's sleeping in there, not my fault.
Not my problem.
You deal with ADOS at all? No. You? Never mind. He's like, it ain't in the transmission. I ain't dealing with it.
I'm not sure what ADOS is either.
I just bought the new alignment machine with the ADOS in it.
Oh.
So I'm just getting ready to.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Okay. I've been looking at that and different things, and I just haven't. Yeah.
But even to have somebody come out and do a relearn at your shop is $400. I mean, it's crazy.
The biggest problem, and a guy I know is doing them, and he.
Hey, Nick, it's Marc Mager with the Tom Martino Show. Hey, man, we reached out to you guys like 2 weeks ago to get this lady, I don't know, she gets 6 different things from you each month. You guys charge her like $100 a month, and she still hasn't got it. Whoever we reached out to said they'd get it handled. But now she's calling back saying she's not, so she's going to be on the air in a minute. I would love for you to come on, but we can't seem to get in touch with anybody over there, and the one person we did get in touch with said it would be handled, and God damn it, it's not handled. So if you can give me a call back, 720-841-6890.
It was able to do just a scissor lift.
Just my regular scissor lift. I just
Was that your personal phone?
Machine got this news
Yeah.
out up.
So you just doxed yourself?
It started with me getting a new tire machine.
Thank you.
So it's like, all right, so we talked and
Thank
talked,
you.
and ended up buying all pieces of equipment on it.
Son of a-
0 interest for a year. So I'm like, okay,
Son of a
0 interest for a year, I can do that. So I'm paying whatever it is, 10 grand.
A lot of tires.
We probably do 2 a month.
Actually, that's kind of more my Google number.
On purpose, because our machines.
Good thing.
So I told him, I'll buy this machine, new tire machine, new balance machine, new line machine. But I
Could've been worse, could've been your
expect
credit
tire
card.
sales to go to at least 5 a month. They're doing 5 a week now. They're doing 1 a day.
What kind of machine you got? Hunter or Coach?
Yeah, all Hunter. All the equipment's Hunter. Alignment machine.
She's not answering. So the owner's not answering. The brother's not answering. It's Panacea Life Science. Hey, Leslie, it's Marc Mager with the Tom Martino Show. Hey, I am getting multiple complaints.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We are here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. In fact, to the tune, we have recovered over $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds. I think you get the idea. If you've been ripped off, we get involved. I've got one that's really bothering the hell out of me right now. I'm looking on my screen, and it's Barbara with the problem with Panacea Life Sciences. And we're going to jump into that in a second, but I'm about sick and tired of these people. We actually represented them years ago and never had any problems. In the past 3 weeks, we've had multiple problems. We reached out to an insider there 2 weeks ago that said Barbara will have her stuff, and Barbara, I believe, is on the line. We'll find out in a minute. Still doesn't have it. I personally just left a message for the owner of Panacea and for her brother that works there as well. Neither of them answered the phone, but I'm getting sick and tired of it. You can't charge people on the first and then not ship their products out, not return their calls, not do anything. I don't care if you were a sponsor at one time, and I don't care if you advertise on other stations. Don't be jerks. You don't freaking charge people, Panacea, and don't ship stuff out. Then you don't return their calls. You don't return my calls. You don't return Suzanne's calls. Our one contact over there quit working for you. That's how I got your personal cell phone numbers. Leslie. Yeah, I don't care if you're pissed at me. You know what? This lady was told by us that it was going to be handled because that's what your people said. And she's still waiting on her stuff. By the way, this hour brought to you by Frank Duran The real estate man. One of the best realtors you'll ever meet. Yeah, that's a hard switch. Thank you, guys. They're all laughing at me here. But it's true.
Sport by Panacea.
You know, Frank Duran is literally helping a couple right now that got foreclosed on, and basically they're going to have to be out of their house. They've got a ton of stuff they have to move, and Frank is helping in numerous ways, trying to negotiate more than anything, a little more time, and I might have to get involved in that negotiation too. But he's just a great guy. I tell that story because Frank Duran is the salt of the earth. The bottom line is, if you want the best negotiator, a man that is going to get you the most money for that house you're selling or save you the most money for the home you're looking at, that's Frank Duran. FrankDuranHomes.com. Now that I got that out of the way, and I hate saying that when I do a commercial because I love Frank, and if you need a realtor, you call Frank. But this Panacea thing's got me absolutely bonkers. Barbara, are you telling me you still haven't received the Panacea products?
My dear Mark, I still not have.
Not one of them?
Not one.
If I recall, you were the one that actually got 6 different things for about $100 a month, and they automatically charge you at the beginning of the month, and then you get your product.
By about the 6th.
And you like your product.
Without sales. What's that, dear?
And you like the product.
Oh, my God, yes. I'm 82 with a broken back, and it's really helped me.
You know what I'd like? Hey, Kelly, can you do me a favor and try to get Suzanne on the horn real quick? I want to see I want the name of who she reached out to at Panacea 2 weeks ago, maybe even 3 weeks ago. And by the way, Barbara, I've gotten more calls on this, so I'm going to light them up here in a minute, so just hold on. Meantime, who's been holding the longest here, guys? Mike?
The oil.
Oh, he just dropped off. Mike with the oil issue. Mike, you were next. Call back, I promise. I will go to you first. 303-713-8255. Is this the same or another extended warranty question? Is this? Hey, John, I don't think we've talked to you yet, have we?
No.
My God, I have never gotten so many extended warranty questions. And here's the part no one can see but you guys. They're all on line 3. Every one of them's been on line 3. 303 Martino. John, what's your question?
Hey, I'm sure you haven't heard this before. A young guy goes into a dealership, first time buying a car.
Yeah, and they sell them every bit of mop and glow they offer.
Yeah. Well, they sold him this little 2016 Ford Focus, and it's like an RS, like a little racing package,
So it's probably been driven hard.
It didn't have real high mileage, John. It only had I think 32,000 miles on it or something like that.
So what happened?
Well, he's driven it for less than 3,000 miles, and the turbo's blown on it. And he's got an extended warranty through one of those extended warranties company that they sold him there. That was like $3,700.
So the place where he bought it, where did he buy it, by the way?
Castle Rock GMC.
So he goes to Castle Rock GMC. God, are those the ones that I think I'm thinking of Dodge. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to go down that bunny hole. But 3,000 miles later, after he bought it, how many months later?
Well, he bought it in October.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
So,
but he hasn't driven it very much.
But you said he put 3,000 miles on it, right?
I don't even know if he's put that much on, really.
Okay, so anyhow, he's only had it a couple months. Turbo goes out. He's spent 36.
He hasn't even gotten it. The registration isn't due until.
Yeah, I got you. But he spent $3,600 on this warranty, roughly, right?
37 something, according to the paperwork here.
What roughly means. Yeah. So, but anyhow, so then what happens?
We haven't tried to go through the warranty company yet, but I'm.
Well, why wouldn't
trying to get the dealership to see if they have any responsibility.
No. Well, he probably bought it as is, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why. First of all, that's exactly what the warranty company is there for in this case. He paid for it. It broke. It should be covered. I thought you were going to say they denied it. The dealer sold it as is. I don't think they knew. I mean, come on, guys. How would you possibly know a turbo's going to go out 2 months after you sell something.
And how he drives it as well. You don't know. A lot of different issues.
Yeah, and he's probably revving up and stepping on
That's
it.
what it's
fine.
for. That's what he bought it for.
Yeah, it's exactly what he bought it for. But that's what that warranty should cover. What I'm afraid of is what? What do you think I think they're going to say? Pre-existing condition.
They're going to try.
Exactly.
Plus, there's a
That's
cap
what I'm
on
worried
it.
about is the warranty company's going to try to back out of this.
Well, that's fine. And if they do, then we can actually assign somebody to reach out to GMC down in Castle Rock and see if they'll step up to the plate and at least help them out. But if he sold it as is, I mean, really, folks, when you buy something as is, it's as is. There's a few exceptions out there, like really bad brakes, a cracked windshield you can't see through, bald tires. There's a few safety items, but in general, it's as is. And you're talking a couple months down the road, man.
The clutch, the brakes, and the dry rot on the tires are a little bit different situation. I guess they're considered wear items. But
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
But, yeah.
He got ripped off. Basically, what you're saying is he got ripped off.
2 months and he can't drive it right now.
Yeah, but once again, though, John, what I'm saying is he basically got ripped off is what you're saying. That's your opinion.
That's kind of my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he bought the wrong car.
You got to go through the warranty. Now, they're not going to cover the tires.
No.
I've never seen a warranty cover tires ever.
Did he have it inspected before they bought it?
I don't really know if the dealership.
Not them. No, you should always.
You don't trust the guy you're buying it from. He'll tell you everything's good.
Yep.
No, I mean, that's like, hey, we did a 146-point inspection. Everything's just wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know if that happened or not.
No, so what I would do is get it down there, try to get it crammed through that warranty. In fact, you don't even have to use them unless if it's some kind of in-house warranty. You might be able to go to like Kevin's place or go up to, I don't know where you live, or Colorado Springs, Jesse's place, and get it handled. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go back there, and dealers are kind of slow on some of this stuff.
Well, they don't want us to go back there because they don't work on Fords.
Oh, well, that made that simple. Bring it over to Kevin. If anybody can cram it down these people's throats as far as getting it covered, Kevin can. What area of town are you in?
A little from the foothills in Conifer.
It's going to be a little bit of a drive. Not crazy, though.
Yeah, I don't know if he can even drive this thing with the turbo out. He's afraid to drive it. He doesn't want to do any additional engine damage.
Does that create more damage? I know the thing's not going to get up and move, guys, but what are your opinions?
If the turbo's coming apart inside, it can go through the engine.
Oh, so you don't want to mess around with this.
And then you'd be bleeding oil through there, too.
Oh, my God, you just made me think of something. We had one of our other Santa Fe's actually had a turbo go out around 90,000 miles. And I thought it threw a rod. It was the worst sounding thing. It wouldn't move. I thought the whole engine was cooked, but it was just the turbo.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not going to drive that.
You know, we'll probably have to have it towed somewhere to be on the safe side.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do is get it towed, man. I mean, that's it, though. That's what that warranty's for. I would assume that warranty covers towing. Is that typical, guys?
Some do, some don't. It's all relative.
Yeah, you're going to have to look through that paperwork, man. Now, here's the deal, though.
It's called Nomad Protection.
You guys heard of Nomad? No. God, that's a strange name.
Yeah, and they all have different levels on those warranties. It depends on what he purchased.
He could have got the gold, the silver,
the platinum, exactly.
or the yellow.
He may have some sort of towing coverage. He may even have some sort of rental car coverage.
He's got the platinum plan.
Well, and that's just depends on the company, what they wrote up in their platinum plan.
There's platinum, silver, and powertrain only, and he got the platinum.
Well, you would think that's good. You would think that should cover everything.
It covers more than just the powertrain, and it covers more than just the gold.
We assume.
Yeah, there's a list of stuff. It doesn't cover wear items, but
I bet it has. Does it have towing on there or not, man?
What's that?
Does it have towing?
I don't know. I'd have to look a little bit closer at it.
Yeah, look at it. I mean, get the claim started, get that vehicle somewhere, get it down to Kevin, get it wherever, man. But get it fixed and have someone do it. I mean, you're making an assumption right now they're not going to cover it. They might. Now, if they don't cover it because of pre-existing conditions, then we can go after that dealer to at least get a refund on that $3,600. If not, maybe make them fix it or get it paid.
Right.
It says online that Nomad is...
How's anybody going to know it has a pre-existing condition?
Well, trust me, they go to that all the time, man.
That would be a way they try to get out of it, I would think.
Yeah.
They're saying online Nomad is owned by General Motors.
Oh, that's not a bad deal then.
No.
I mean, it can't be horrible.
And it's financed through General Motors, too.
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully you're not going to have any issue, man. But at this point, honest to God, man, you got to get the denial before we think about it. You bought it as is. If they don't want to give you a refund on it or something like that, and why would they at this point? It's in worse condition than when they sold it. I mean, I wouldn't take it back. That's what the warranty's for. If they deny it, we'll go fight for you. Hell, I'll drive down to the Castle Rock GMC and talk to them if they don't want to refund that. But you got to do that first step, get it over to a shop. I'd bring it over to Kevin, 303-455-7242, man. He's good at dealing with these warranty companies. 303-455-7242. I got to take this break. We got a question on a vapor lock. Did we get Suzanne? Kelly, did Suzanne say... She is. Let me do this real quick. Hey, babe, who did you talk to? You're on the air. Who did you talk to at Panacea, or who did you message? Because I got that same lady back on. They called 2 weeks ago. She still hasn't got her stuff, and they haven't refunded the $100, nothing. It's like they're asleep at the wheel over at Panacea Life Sciences.
Oh, hey, Mark. Well, I had just checked to double check they got the text and acknowledge, but I had texted Leslie, the owner, and Nick Cavera. I believe he's the marketing guy up there.
Yeah, that's her brother. I think that's the brother. I just left them both pretty much nasty grams. I'm about to blow them up and give their personal cells out. And I'm not kidding. Yeah. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, they acknowledged the information on Barb, and so I'm very surprised that hasn't been handled. If you want, I can reach back out again.
You know what? Reach back out. I just left them both messages, frustrated messages. Do me a favor, reach back out and say, you know, Mark's going to go ballistic on this. This is crazy. You know, we represented you guys, granted, years ago, but this doesn't make us look good. So these guys got to do it or refund her. If they don't have the product or don't have the manpower, tell them just to refund her. Thank you.
Okay, well, crazy enough, we also had that guy from earlier this week or last week, and I texted them the same info for him.
Yeah,
and,
there's been 3 or 4 of them real quick.
All right. I'll reach back out and let you know.
All right, bye. God, man, I can't believe stuff like that. Just
That's
refund
too bad, because they were a very good outfit.
Well, here's the problem. Like with Barbara, you love their product, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
She wants the product.
Yep.
So, Barbara, listen, Suzanne's back on it. If I don't hear anything, like maybe by the end of the show, I'm going to figure a way out how to get their attention, and I'm damn good at doing that. So, actually, Barbara, make sure Kelly's got your info. We're going to free up those lines. 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. We're going to have 1 or 2 lines open. Any car questions, any problems, complaints, or just advice, this is a show for you.
I have a good follow-up that's worth a dinger.
Nice.
Funny, I used to think I was good at dealing with warranty companies.
Yeah. There was a day.
Here lately, it doesn't seem to be any...
They keep changing their tactics.
Oh, man.
Hold on, guys. This is a long one.
Stay one step on this.
Joe Chiano, he is a proprietor, and he is the main guy over at Become the Banker. And these people we've loved forever. They have a different retirement products they can talk to you about. But I've got a more important question for you, Joe. When people are looking around for a financial advisor, or if they're looking at retirement, or if they just even hear this spot right here, you know, what is the first thing you should ask a financial advisor when you're trying to figure out who to use?
Well, you know, Mark, that's a really good point. You know, we've been teaching financial advisors and financial planners since 1992. They're continuing education. And we believe in education, period. So people make a lot of mistakes by choosing the wrong financial planner, the wrong company, or the wrong investment. So my advice to consumers is to ask 5 questions, okay? Real briefly, I want the consumers to ask their financial advisor, whoever they're going to put their money
What are the questions?
in. How long, first of all, how long have you been licensed?
Good
What's
question.
your experience? I mean, if you're just brand new, how can you really help somebody, that...
Yeah, if you've only, it's like anything. If you've only been working on cars for a year, you'd much rather have a mechanic that's been working on them forever. What else?
Yeah, the second question would be, what are your fees? I mean, if the financial planner or the financial plan that you're looking at has a higher fee than 0.1%,
yeah,
you better run.
That's what you guys are, is 0.1%, correct?
0.1%.
What
That's
else?
right. The next question would be, is my money guaranteed?
Well, that one, not many people can say. I know you can, but you basically guarantee they will not lose principal, period, end of story. And then along with that 15% bonus, they make money no matter what.
That's right. And the following question would be, does it have long-term care benefits? If the plan that you're offering me is going to offer me long-term care benefits.
Yeah, and that's very important because you get to a certain age, and let's say an annuity is paying you $2,000 or $3,000 a month, whatever the number is, and then all of a sudden you can't cook your own meals, you can't shower yourself, you can't do a few things like that. You actually double the benefit. What's the last question, real quick?
The last one would be, does your plan offer me a guaranteed income for the rest of my life?
And that's very important as you reach retirement. The stock market, we know, can go up and down. Real estate can go up and down. You want an investment that is guaranteed every month. You're going to get that same check. You're going to get an increase for cost of living. You're going to have that benefit there if you need it, and you can't cook for yourself. But I want you to check out all of it. Call Joe up. Tell him what's going on, when you plan on retiring. These guys can give you all the numbers. They can crunch the numbers, tell you what it's worth. They can roll over your 401k, your IRA. They can do all kinds of things, but the call comes first. Go to mymoneymyway.com. Go there right now, set up a Zoom, set up a phone call. mymoneymyway.com, mymoneymyway.com. K&H Home Solutions. These guys have a new line of Alpine windows. They're absolutely beautiful. They're made in Colorado for Colorado homes. And the people over at K&H Home Solutions can do everything on the outside of your house. They have energy efficiency across your entire line of windows and doors, and some of the most beautiful, beautiful diamond coat siding doors you've ever seen. And then they also have different lines of windows. In fact, I think it's Provia that's got 20 gauge steel. Most are nowhere near that thick and strong. But check khwindows.com out. They're great folks. They've been around for 68 years. 68 years this company's been around. khwindows.com. Oh, those are so long. They're long.
The new tire machine, this is the new balancer. Put it up there, lifts it up, puts it on. It's got roll com, so it checks for around balance, belt problems, if it doesn't balance correctly.
I'm going to miss the forest refuse site burning but one day.
What is it?
We have a forest refuse site.
Yeah.
People cut up their, dispose of trees and whatnot. It gets built up.
It's been 150 for all three.
They build it all up.
Oh my God. Oh, and you missed it?
They're doing it Saturday night. We're not going to be up there until Sunday afternoon.
Did a bunch of people show up?
They're doing it this Saturday night. So, but yeah, people do show up and watch it.
When I grew up upstate New York, we'd go to the mountains. My grandfather would bring me down, and we'd literally go to the dump, and there'd be like 20 cars lined up, and the bears would come out rummaging through the dump, but they'd walk right up to your windows. Oh, it was insane. I mean, sometimes they'd hop on the front of your car. If he threw just to watch the bears. They go to the dump at night to watch the bears. It was really cool, man. That was like a thing, kind of like that fire deal. I'm shocked you never did that up there, upstate. It was up in like the Adirondacks. Oh, you're right. I'm thinking of Tom up in, yeah.
Yeah, the bears come to us.
We've got some black bears roaming around the house now. Oh, yeah. They don't mess with dogs, do they? I mean,
they can, but no, typically they'll want to.
It is, but
Yeah.
the year zero interest.
Yeah, the dogs will usually treat them.
When that deal came out in December, I started looking.
And I've been looking at a lot of different things.
But yeah, you'd be more worried about a coyote than you would a bear with a dog.
oh, yeah. And with the German Shepherd, I don't worry about the coyotes at all. I see them walk across our cul-de-sac. They're skinny little
Yeah,
screws.
that would have to be a pretty desperate dog.
They'd pack them up. I mean, that's what they do. They pack them. My neighbor told me what they'll do. When they have little ones, they'll send their little cubs out or whatever they're called.
Thank you, dear.
630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. We got one line open, 303 Martino. That's the only number you need. By the way, when we're not here around the holidays, you can always call that 303 Martino. We might answer, but if not, you can leave a message, and then you can always email us at help@troubleshooter.com. That's help@troubleshooter.com. I was just talking to my wife during the break. Actually, it was a break ago. You know, we don't do advertising for this company, at least not on air at all, but Apex Tech. So we called them to come out. We're out in Franktown, so they go there, which is really cool. But they're an appliance repair center. So we've got this kind of fancy Italian oven, and it's like Bertoloni or something. Bertolucci, I don't know, something like that. And the only reason we have it is because when the house was custom built before we bought it, they're 3/4 size ovens. They're not the half size, and they're not a regular size, and they're built in these custom cabinets and stuff. So you have to use that same size, or else you're redoing a lot of stuff. So we found them, we ordered them, we've had the ovens maybe, 5 years. They're gorgeous, they work great, and there's 2 of them. So this is the dumbest problem I've ever heard. Right before Thanksgiving, the one we almost never use, if you have double ovens, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The one we almost never use, my wife goes ahead, Suzanne uses to self-clean. It gets up to a high temperature. I guess it cooks everything off. Mm-hmm. I tell you what I remember, it smells like hell. It's the worst smell ever when they clean those ovens like that. But after she cleaned it cleaned and it looked great. It wouldn't turn on anymore. So I start Googling, what the hell's going on here? Well, sure enough, this Italian brand, and I guess other brands too, if you use the self-cleaning, it can actually take out either the wiring harness, can you imagine that? That would be costly. Or the temperature, I guess there's numerous different temperature things because it's a convection oven, or it can take something else out. So I called this company up, Apex Tech, and they come out, and they were out there this morning. Great company. I am so happy with this company. It's insane. They have no idea who I am. They know nothing. They show up. It's $99 for the diagnosis. The guy pulls it out. He doesn't have that part. I understand that. It's not a common thing. But the entire job, including the $99 diagnosis, is going to be $130 to $150. The entire thing. He's got to replace some temperature sensors or something.
So he's going to come back out again and not charge for that.
The entire job is going to be $150 tops. I cannot believe it.
It's amazing.
I can't believe how great that price is. So I had to give them a shout out. They don't even know I'm doing this. Honest to God, they have no idea. But Apex Tech is 720-980-4609. And I can just tell you from their website, they work on all appliances. If they can work on this strange oven we got, they can work on anything. But you're not going to get, that is just the coolest deal ever. 720-980-4609. So if you need anything fixed, call these guys up. I had to give them that. I just had to do that for him. Now, Joe's been hanging on. Yes, ma'am. Really? Did they self-clean it and it stopped working? See, tell me how stupid that is. Why would they even have a self-cleaning on these ovens if it cooks their own parts? Nice. That is so cool. I've had refrigerator guys out in the past that, you can buy a new refrigerator. You can buy a new refrigerator.
And when they leave, the fridge still don't work.
And when they leave, they got to either order a part. Or they come back, install the part that you waited 2 weeks for, and it still doesn't work. So, but these guys I just told you about are really good. Apex Tech.
I better call them.
All right, let's go to Joe. He's been holding, no, he's not. William has been holding the longest. William, what is your question?
Well, I've got my Jeep, and I'm an old school mechanic. I've done all this stuff for the years. But anyway, 3 times this year, it has, when you go around a corner, it's a manual. Come around the corner, downshift, go to take off, and it'll stumble or stutter a bit, like it would be vapor locking or a fuel filter plug. A few seconds later, it goes out. It's not anything that goes on consistently.
What year Jeep?
It's a 2015 JK 3.6 naturally aspirated.
So what? Have you replaced the fuel filter or a fuel pump?
It doesn't have a fuel filter. The fuel filter is in the tank on the pump. It's one of those little soap filter things.
Yep.
So it's not consistent. It did it once in the spring one morning at about 40 degrees. Did it once in an afternoon where it was like 98. It's been sitting and idling for 10 minutes. And then it did it once here in November when I was taking off at 30 degrees.
Guys, isn't the term vapor lock, isn't that more of a symptom? That could be numerous different issues.
Right, and that's...
Well, it's not that it's vapor locking. It's just characteristic of a vapor lock or a plugging fuel filter.
Yeah, and it could be an ignition switch. It could be so many
How
things.
about the carburetor itself?
It's fuel injected.
It doesn't have a carburetor.
Oh, okay.
And with all this new electronic stuff, before I go, cam sensor, crank sensor, this, that, and the other, I was wondering if Kevin had run across this.
Well, unless the fuel is really, really low or different things. Have you noticed the fuel level when it's happening?
No, I always keep it half a tank or above.
So if you obviously you've done some work yourself, do you have a code reader? Are you able to plug it and see if anything's tripped a code?
I haven't plugged in to see if there's any saved codes, but it didn't give me any check engine lights when it was happening.
Sometimes it won't. In Jeeps, if they have a bad camera crank sensor, they'll actually store the code in history. It's worth looking at if you have.
But it won't trigger the light?
Right.
Wow.
That's why with it
I have
being
the
so.
ability to pull a code. So.
Yeah, and it's not like it's happening consistently. So you're going to be guessing until you can get it to happen all the time.
Yeah, I've only done it 3 times. It lasts for about 2 seconds, and then it's gone, and it runs fine. So that's why I was kind of curious if you guys would run into it. All right, I'll pull some code.
Yeah, I mean,
if I can pull a safe code.
That's got to be frustrating, too, to people that drop it off.
Yeah.
Like if this guy drops it off with you and it's only happened twice, I mean, you test drive it. It's not like you can go test drive it to and from work for a month.
It has that 5-second glitch.
Yeah.
And you feel it, but then it's gone.
And if there's no code
codes
whatsoever,
really. Yeah.
God, what would you do? Where would you guys start on something
You're
like that?
chasing a ghost at that point.
Wait
If you
till it
can't
gets more
reproduce it,
consistent.
Don't get me wrong. If you shotgun enough parts of the car, you'll fix it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you can rebuild the car. 303-713-8255. We got one line open. 303 Martino. Any questions you have? We got a question on Geico Insurance coming up. On buying a truck, we're going to figure out what that's all about right after this.
Not consistent. We had a Pontiac Bonneville that dropped off, and he swore every time he drove to work, the damn thing died. We drove it for 2 weeks, put him in a loaner car, never died once. Gave it back to him. He called the next day and said it died. I'm like,
well, yeah, I know when I go to the dentist and he starts pulling out needles, I start feeling better. It's not that bad, Doc.
So yeah, we started talking pricing, and then it's.
But that's just it. People don't understand the time involved in chasing these intermittent problems. I mean, you want to pay 2-3 hours of drive time and this and that and this and check. And
I had one drop off 2 weeks ago. Told me I was going to have to drive to Bailey and back. What? That ain't happening, bro. I'll pay for your time. I don't think you want to.
All right, hold on, guys. You know, I was talking to Mark Szymanski last night. He's the owner of Genesis Total Exteriors. During the winter, they're doing something so cool. He's going to be coming out and looking at ours. But you know the hand railings you have on your stairs going from your first floor to the second or whatever? They can actually get rid of those old wood ones. Maybe you have oak or whatever you have. and replace them with this most gorgeous different metals. It can upgrade the house to the point that's crazy. They can do the new railings too if you want. And the interior doors. This stuff is only for November, December, and probably January, but this is the cold winter months. So they also have right now, listen to this, new interior doors. Maybe you got those hollow, cheap builder grade doors and you want to kind of upgrade maybe the master bedroom door or all the doors in the house. 2 for 1. 2 for 1 right now. You can go from those hollow doors to a real nice interior door in your house. Different kinds, different colors. Genesis Total Exteriors. Give them a call right now. It's an incredible deal, the 2 for 1. 303-679-8509. 303-679-8509. Genesis Total Exteriors. McAfee. I want a slice of pizza.
We shall accommodate, but you'll have to give us a minute.
I don't think that's legit. She could be strong, but a full pack and a German Shepherd.
And a dog.
In the water.
Who's fighting what?
Oh, just...
AI is fighting.
Oh.
AI is taking over the
like
phone.
a woman Ukrainian soldier crossing a stream with a full pack and a German Shepherd on top of the pack.
Oh, I've been there.
You were on her back?
I was on her back. I know where you got that shirt, Doc.
I know you have the same one.
I got a black one.
I have a black one too.
I'm going to do that update when we come back.
All right.
Now, the math these guys use on tires, they figure you make $100 on out of balance, 20. You sell TPMS, you sell certificates or warranty or road hazard. And,
No.
You know, that's where they're getting their numbers from.
I sold a lot of tires in the day, guys.
Do you have warranty? Do you use a... No?
I don't have road hazard.
Yeah.
You don't sell road hazard?
No, we don't have any road hazard with ours.
Because if you price out like discount, the discount's packed. You can't get in the place.
I know those places are cheaper.
They're not. That's my point. They're not cheap.
Tires are very expensive now.
Yeah.
Well, especially for
it's
good
remarkable.
tires. Like,
Yeah.
you can get cheap tires anywhere. But I don't want to sell you cheap tires. I would like for you to have a good set of tires that are going to last you 30 to 40,000 miles. That's what I would
my
like.
store down in Denver. Where the hell? What's that area called? God, I can't. I got a brain fart.
Where's the what parts?
Like I-70 in Peoria.
Mount
Bello.
Yeah.
My store down there, I sold more Chinese tires than any other buddy I know. I sold and never had any real issues, but they were cheap back in the day.
We call them round and black.
Discount
Yep.
Tire has great service. Whenever I go in there, if there's a problem, they take care of it.
No,
right
they
away.
do if you can get in there.
That's where I go now.
Because, okay.
You got to drop it off.
Our tire machine broke, so I made an appointment, dropped it off at 10 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, haven't heard. Like, dude.
Still not done?
Still not done. I'll have you done at 6, I promise. So have somebody drop me off at 6. I got
Still
out
not.
there at 8:45.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's like anything else. It depends on the store.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying that everyone that I see is so busy.
We just had tires put on the Tesla. I dropped it off all day long. It was done at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I would never.
Well, I was telling
wait.
guys, like, look, man, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going. Give me my keys. I'm done. You know, we pre-ordered the tires. Everything was set up. It wasn't like it just dropped in. And it was still, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, quit lying to me. If you tell me 6 o'clock, make it 6 o'clock. If you tell me you're not going to be done till midnight, I'll go home and eat dinner and come back.
Yeah.
Whatever. But don't jack
Don't
me around
BS me.
and sit here staring at the other idiots that are sitting here, you know.
I left my damn wallet at Lazy Dog last night.
You're kidding.
I got to go get it after. They put it in the office.
That's a good tip. You were talking about tips yesterday.
You know what's nice, though? You just hop on your credit card apps now and cancel, cancel. Or not cancel, just block.
Yeah.
Usually Tippy and I always try to make sure I do it in cash.
I do. Yeah.
Because that way they don't have to declare it if they don't want to.
Yep.
I never have cash, man. If I'm in Vegas, I have cash. Other than that, I might have a $5 bill, maybe.
Yep.
Can you owe me $5?
Cash.
I don't even have my wallet. I got nothing today. So, because my card, of course, is in my wallet, I had to bring Suzanne, so I got the bling.
So if you paused all your cards, how were you paying for pizza?
No, that's a company card here.
iHeartRadio station.
All right, 303-713-8255. You've been ripped off, taken advantage of. I think we might have one line open, maybe not. Where did we leave off? But Doc's got an update. Doc, tell me the skinny on it. What was the call?
Mary called up because she had a water break at her apartment, and they weren't doing anything about it. They weren't paying for a hotel, and they weren't really getting on about fixing it.
Oh, and she had, if I recall, 3 kids.
Yes.
And the water broke, and it had been off like a water main, and it had been off for maybe 5 days.
2 or 3 days.
Oh, wow. But she would leave messages going, when's this going to be fixed?
Right.
And not hear anything.
Right.
So what happened?
Well, I called up, and I left a message. And about a couple of hours after I left a message, she called back and said she got a call. They're putting her up in a hotel.
Nice.
And they're sending somebody out immediately to fix the water break.
Oh, that's a dinger.
I thought so.
She couldn't get anywhere. You left a message and
I heard the doc was on the case, and they caved.
They caved.
What can I tell you?
I wonder if I bet the other tenants that are involved probably don't have a hotel deal.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, she does, and they are getting it fixed.
So the gist of it is, if your water breaks, call Doc.
Oh, my goodness, that's funny. If your water breaks, call Doc.
Hey, that's perfect.
That
I should have used that when I was in practice.
You should have had that on your business card. How many babies did you deliver?
A couple thousand.
You just never really counted, though.
I told you, the first weekend I was on call as an intern, I delivered 26 babies.
Oh, my God.
And I stopped counting then, and that was 60 years ago.
That's a lot of babies. It's funny thinking of how many babies Doc has touched. Well, that sounds weird. I don't mean that to be weird. I'm saying, but it's kind of fun. Forget it. I'm not gonna forget it. All right, 303-713-8255. Joe, what's your question on buying a truck?
Yeah, I'm an F-150 kind of guy. That's what I drive now. But I buy them used and ride them hard and long. And this one's coming to the end of its life. Well, actually, it's doing really well, but it's got an expensive repair. The automatic side steps are sticking and not going back in, and I hear it's $2,000-$3,000 each side, or maybe even more.
How does that? So, what are they? I'm trying to picture this. Almost like an RV. You open the door and the steps come down.
Yeah, but it's the whole running board. The whole
Damn,
side
that's
of the truck.
fancy as hell. Have you guys worked on those?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God! They said it like it was the worst thing that ever happened.
Yeah, we try not to.
Hold on. Let me take this break. We'll come back. We'll let them kind of digest everything you said. You know what's funny though? He made me think of you, Jeff, because you went out. I remember you bought your truck from Rowley, right?
Yeah.
And you're a Chevy guy.
Correct.
It's so funny to me. There's Chevy guys, Ford guys, Dodge guys. And I've never been that way. I just kind of, the reason I always end up with Santa Fe's is the warranty, and I sell them quick. So I guess in a way I am a Santa Fe guy. But people, especially with trucks, they are so brand loyal. It's nuts, man. Why are you so loyal to Chevy?
You know, I mean, and I grew up in Fords, but after I bought my first Chevy, I just preferred it. You know, when it came to Dodge, I was under the impression that, you know, Dodge makes an ugly truck. Dodge always has made an ugly truck, and Dodge always will make an ugly truck.
So tell us how you really feel about Dodge. All right, everybody hold tight. 303 Martino, no lines open. Hold on. Oh, that's funny as hell, man. It is funny how loyal people are, though. Jeep's a weird one because it's changed. Weren't that they've been owned by everybody? Chrysler's owned them. I mean, everybody's owned them.
And they suck.
Yeah.
I couldn't own a Mopar.
Mopar stands for...
But man, there are people ever brand loyal to the Jeep.
Mopar stands for moments of power are rare.
Yeah, but generally just the crawlers, right? I mean, now I guess people are loyal to their...
The Liberties, the Cherokees, people love them. You can't get them out of them.
Jeep and you find where it's
And we work on a ton of them.
Maybe them money.
Yes. Let's say the Subarus. You know, they're so loyal, it's ridiculous. And there's
You know, we have him on as our legal expert all the time. I'm talking about Bradley O'Brien. This guy knows residential and commercial real estate more than anybody I've ever met in my life. Maybe you need seller financing reviews of the contracts, or if you're just buying and selling a home, period, and you want to look at the loan docs, he can create a lease. He can look and update the current lease you have. He can do property line disputes, issues with fences, easements, adverse possession, liens. He can help you evict a bad tenant. The guy can do anything when it comes to real estate in the state of Colorado. Bradley O'Brien, 720-370-7388. And landlords out there, if you haven't had your lease eyeballed by an attorney in a while, I want you to call Brad. He's got good deals going on, but there's been so many changes in Colorado. You want to make sure that lease is good. 720-370-7388 or olslaw.com. Now, let's talk about mymoneymyway.com. We had Joe on for a couple minutes last hour. He has an annuity product, and look, there's a lot of them out there. Some of them are really bad. The one Joe sells is great. You get a 15% bonus. You get that guaranteed money. If you want it to grow for 10 or 15 years, you're going to get that check every single month. When you decide to turn on that cash flow, when you retire, you're going to get that check. And then he's got a benefit to where if you fall into issues with your health, that monthly check amount you get till the day you die actually doubles. Guaranteed money till the day you die. You can either turn on that cash flow 30 days after you buy the annuity, and you still get the 15% bonus, or you can let it grow for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. The numbers are remarkable. If you haven't done it, reach out to him. Say, hey, I'm 55 years old. I'm thinking of retiring in 10 years. What would happen if I rolled $200K over into this? Whatever the question is, he can punch the numbers. Then you'll have that guaranteed income whenever you want. And it's truly guaranteed. You'll never lose any principal. Even if you die, your offspring or whomever you want to get the money will get it. You ready for this? mymoneymyway.com. mymoneymyway.com.
Has the stock market just been stupid this week or what?
Is it up? Oh, down big time, over 1,000 one day.
No, it's up 2% across the board today.
Awesome. Tesla
oh God, I
have made so much on Tesla, I'm terrified to even look at it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, most of my Tesla, I'm in at about $1.25.
I thought, because back when it dropped down under 100, I was just kind of like, it's about time, because there's no reason that stock sells the way it does.
Yeah, it's not doing, it's all right now, but it's just amazing. It's amazing. I'm up like 325%.
Yeah.
I bought this stock called Equix. My friend told me about it. I bought it like at 40. It went to 120.
Oh my God!
I sold it. It's now up to almost 1,000.
It's crazy.
It's like
I've been buying and holding lately.
Money. How bad can it be?
It's like the guy that bought his Big Mac meal with 2 Bitcoin.
Right.
Oh God! I'd want to just kill myself.
It was a pizza.
Was it a pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd just kill myself.
And the guy who lost his the key to his wallet, I think it was like $2 or $3 million in Bitcoin that he lost.
Addie had it wasn't a boyfriend, but a boy she knew up in law school. And when he lived with his parents before law school, he was actually mining Bitcoin when he was like 16, 17. And it was his parents' electricity.
Sure. So, I don't even understand what that means.
Well, he literally mined basically a full Bitcoin somewhere around 2015 or something, but he just paid for his entire law school with the Bitcoin.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So you know what the mining is, Kevin? There's an algorithm. If you solve the algorithm, you get a Bitcoin.
Right.
But the algorithms...
You're basically leasing out your computer space to help solve problems.
Well, no, but in the beginning, you could do it on your computer.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is like whose Bitcoin is it now? Why does it become yours? And this,
because your energy created it.
No,
your computer.
The whole thing's weird.
Well, the whole thing's really weird.
My energy tends to cause more problems than not.
I wish I had some though.
You're better off probably in an ETF instead of buying your own Bitcoin. I think. I don't know.
There are a couple of
I'd be terrified something happens to my wallet. Like
That's
I
what I'm
lose
saying.
my phone. Now I've got, $400 or 500 grand in Bitcoin I can never access ever.
My brother told me about iBit. It's a ETF for Bitcoin.
I didn't know that.
And he doubled his money this year with it.
That's nice.
Yeah. And that's exactly what he's talking about. He says it's multiple coins, multiple currencies they trade.
It's all, yeah. You're trading basically the whole thing.
Yep.
I have a cousin that dabbles in that, but I don't know nothing about no Bitcoin.
No,
I think Bitcoin's up to like 90-something thousand these days.
Well, it's down. It was over 100.
I'm like, how do you
110.
use your Bitcoin? He's like, there's like 2 places that take it. I'm like,
There is a place over at a liquor store down the road that'll take it from you.
Yep.
You know what the problem is? It has too much volatility.
They had a call here.
Well, that's the problem, and that's the attractiveness of it both.
Mark actually took the call.
No, as far as using it for...
It's over off of Parker and Arapahoe
so they
Road.
trade you alcohol for your Bitcoin?
No, there's like a machine there, just like an ATM.
They have an ATM. You can buy it with cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some guy went in there and how much did they get from him, Mark? $35,000
for what?
That Bitcoin deal of that vending machine.
.com.
Yeah, $40,000, Jeff. I'm talking to Jeff about one of the cases we had a couple weeks ago. Guy walked up to Wells Fargo, 2 different branches, withdrew $40,000 in cash, and then he headed over to a liquor store that had a Bitcoin ATM, and he actually deposited $40,000, and he got taken big time. Someone called up. The whole scam was crazy. They called up and had him convinced. Older guy, memory problems. You get the idea, but it was so sad. But they convinced him that someone hacked his bank account, so they told him to go withdraw the cash real quick and put it in there. And of course, don't tell anybody. And sure enough, the video of him putting 40 grand in. And the first thing you think is, I've never seen an ATM you can put 40 grand in. These Bitcoin ones, they go up to 50 grand, some of them. But once you put it in there, man, it's basically gone. If maybe we found out the next day, I'd still be curious how that would work. Let's say the 40 grand was still sitting in the machine. This was not the case. But let's say it was. I'm not even sure what we could have done at that point. It's like any other ATM. I can't walk up to an ATM and take money out of it. It's not my money. It's really interesting, but Dimitri and Scott are still working on that case, Jeff, and I don't know what's going to happen. We have got somebody at CBI, I believe, and possibly the FBI interested with the information, but being interested in the case and verifying it happened is a hell of a lot different than getting the guy his 40 grand back. So it just sucks.
It's tough.
That's kind of the really bad side of the Bitcoin and crypto.
And he legitimately got Bitcoin. How?
No, he didn't buy Bitcoin. It's a Bitcoin ATM.
Yeah.
So you can deposit into it, and they give you a barcode. You've seen a barcode.
Yeah.
So when you're depositing the money, you scan the barcode, and that was from the scammer, and it goes into that account. So he bought Bitcoin for whoever's account that was. So, it's so crooked, it's crazy. All right, who are we left here on, guys? We were going to go back. Wasn't Joe buying the truck on the F-150? Yep. So, Joe, what is your question? We know you don't want to repair your F-150. You're a Ford guy. What's your question on the new one?
I'm going to have to replace soon. And recently I was listening to your show, and you guys talked about, I'm looking at 2021 and above. And you guys talked about a problem with Ford trucks in those years that you had to watch out for a certain engine type or something.
Are you talking like when the spark plug blows the coil off? No. I saw that a lot, but it's not a huge deal.
That was an old problem.
Was that what it was?
I don't know. What years are you talking about?
It was a car. It was a car. The car guys were in there. It was a car day show. And
that'll limit it to about 475 shows. But honestly, what years are we talking about?
It's 2021 and above.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think? You're all looking at each other like we have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't have any major issues with cars in those years. I mean, obviously it depends on the motors and everything else. You know, the turbos in general. There's nothing.
So there's nothing you should tell him in the Ford line to stay away from.
Not right
on the F-150.
Not on the
Yeah,
F-150.
in all actuality, there is, but you're going into the hard break here.
Okay, hold on a second, Joe. Jeff thought of something. If you want to hang on, feel free to. We'll come back to you first. 303 Martino.
Those 10 speeds are crap.
Yeah, that's
Until the aftermarket comes out with some fixes for them, we won't even touch them. We're installing Ford units.
Yeah.
What does a turbo do on a car, on a gas engine?
Compresses air.
Shoves air in.
Shoves air in it.
It's before the engine, not afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the intake.
But it works with the after part of the engine.
Pushes it through, yeah.
Because the exhaust is what actually powers it.
And you know what a blower does?
Yeah, I know what a fluffer does.
Can get you arrested, too.
He was a fluffer. He advertised as a fluffer on Match.com. That's what happened.
He got bumped that time, yeah.
I had too many phone calls. That's why I had to get off.
The blower basically is running all the time, right? It's belt driven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A blower works on the bottom end, and the turbo works on the top end.
Got it. Oh, so one's sucking, one's blowing.
Something like that.
The other thing is, it's like I thought it was like an afterburner on a jet. I didn't realize it was before and not after.
No. Performance. The more air you can pack in that engine, the more power you can produce.
They make different size turbos. People like to spool up bigger turbos and throw them in a little Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, when that one broke in the Santa Fe, man, I was sure the engine was toast.
It's pretty nasty. A lot of
my
smoke.
God.
So in general, why did internal combustion engines as gas engines override diesel power? What's the advantage or disadvantage of having a diesel motor or a gas motor in a car?
That's a good question. A diesel seems like there's less to break.
Well, there's just as much to break. You know, you really, all diesels are running turbos. You're not going to get a naturally aspirated diesel.
Not enough combustion?
No, I mean, the diesel really didn't start making a big rise until about World War II. The Detroit diesel was big into the PT boats and whatnot, twin turbo 6V71s. But, their efficiency really wasn't there until probably the last, 20, 30 years? Yeah. The efficiency was horrid.
Well, they stink, smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they weren't a good car to have running in your garage, that's for sure.
Even nowadays, when people buy diesel, they don't realize that they like to run.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good to buy a diesel and go to the store and back and the store and back.
Oh, really?
You have to, diesel's got to run. You want time on that thing, hours and road time.
So that's why they use it on trucks.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're made to run.
They're made to run.
That's why they use compressors.
Yeah.
Big compressors with diesels. They'll just run for 3 months at a time. Yeah.
They're definitely, the longer you can run them, the better. So these guys that get these diesels and run them back and forth to the store and then can't figure out why they don't run, it's like, when was the last time you took it even 100 miles? Never. Yeah, that's your problem. Go drive it. Get on it. Let it run. Yep, you got it.
Because my electric car is great for back and forth.
Yeah.
Hey, babe. Hello?
Yeah, but don't try to take that cross country. You got to stop every
No.
4 hours for an hour and charge.
The furthest I take is up to Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Great.
I had a friend, he's got a Cybertruck, and he was telling me how he was driving it to Louisiana, and I was like, oh, cool, let me know how that goes. His wife was so irritated. She never take that fucking... He's like, hon, we stopped for gas, and you use the restroom. It's the same thing. It's a 20-minute stop. She said, bullshit, that was a 45-minute stop every time we stopped.
See, mine's not like that. We just did round trip, probably 500 miles. We never stopped. We stopped 4 times to charge, 6 minutes each time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad at
If
all.
you're not at a supercharger, forget it.
Yeah.
So,
but I'll tell you
Does your Tesla show you where the superchargers are?
Yeah. Everything.
Every Sonic that's
If you tell
you had that girl call up a little while ago on the silver
first time he went out
with
to
the red
Nebraska,
diesel.
he forgot to tell him it was a red.
Well, I'm very familiar with that filling station, and you have to be a flippin' moron to fucking fill up over there. Right? Because it is marked everywhere on the
Red.
Yes, do not put it in. It's illegal to put it in.
The one guy called up and said, every gas comes out of one, you just switch it.
No, it warns you about the fine violations and everything else all over that flipping pump.
You know, people are like, that's a lot cheaper.
There's no taxes on it.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. I like that red.
Yep. Well, you wait until you see the smoke coming out of that tailpipe.
I was going to say, wait till we get a hold of it.
I didn't even think of that. Will you see red coming out?
No, it's black smoke. It's very sooty. It's high sulfur content.
Got it.
Today's diesels have to run low sulfur. And that's why if you run a diesel, you need to run Alliant or Stanidine, because the sulfur also worked as a lubricant. So you see higher rates of failure inside the pumps and inside the injectors without it.
Yeah. It's just like buying an electric car. You got to do your research before you buy your diesel. You can't just buy it and think it's a car. Oh, yeah, I got a diesel. No, it's different.
No, I always say if my house didn't come with a 220-volt charger, the EV would have been a pain in the ass. But since I just come home, plug it in at night, I never have to worry about it.
You got a charger at your shop? Either one of you guys got chargers?
Oh, the appliance guys?
You know what else is interesting?
Apex Tech.
Going up to Blackhawk, it uses 1,000 miles.
Yep.
Coming back from Blackhawk, it uses 1 mile. It's amazing what going up or down the mountain does.
Yeah. Did you guys put electric chargers at your shop yet?
No. Hell no.
Well, they don't work on electric cars.
All you need is a 50 amp plug.
Yeah, I'm not part of this whole green movement thing, man. I'm part of the brown movement.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Why, you have one?
No.
I mean, what would
I
that
looked at
cost
it a
you?
couple
And then you
years
got to
ago,
put
and
some
it's
kind
like-
of credit card processing.
What the hell is wrong with this
The
thing?
bigger thing for me is people pulling up and plugging into the damn thing.
Yeah.
Well, hell, there was the gas station down the road from us. They had a problem with a guy who kept pulling his Tesla up and plugging into the side of their freaking building.
720-980-4609. 720-980-4609. 720-980-4609. Did she get that?
From plugging into this. Oh, we have a plug.
Apex Tech. When I tried to type in, it's all funky monkey.
Break it or,
I know. What's it got
run
to cost to
into it.
repair one of those? Like, no, I don't want that hassle.
Well, not to mention the footprint you see on top is nothing compared to what's underground.
Or what it costs to run it.
I'm
good.
My son's best friend. That's what he does is installs those damn things, or at least the electrical part of it.
Well, there you go. You got somebody that does it.
All right, are we shutting down the government tonight, guys? What's everybody's
I hope
guess?
so.
I do, too. I hope they shut the son of a bitch down.
They're never going to agree on anything.
While listening to Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome, my friends, to the only show of its kind. We're here to solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. It's car day. Any vehicle questions you have, buying, selling, warranty, anything to do with cars, we'd love to hear from you. And then, of course, you have a bad contractor or a crappy landlord or just any form of malicious merchant, we want to hear from you. We recover money. We help you. In fact, Doc was helping Deputy Doc. One of our deputies was actually helping out a lady that was in an apartment complex. They hadn't had water for 3, 4, 5 days. She couldn't get a call back from the management company, nothing. Deputy Doc got involved, and the bottom line was they're paying for an apartment, they're paying for a hotel until it's fixed up.
I just want to say one thing. Well, a lot of the stuff we do, you can't put a money value on it.
Yeah, I know.
So a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, we solve problems and get people fixed up, but it's hard to put a monetary value on it.
Dollar. Yeah, I mean, because you're talking, the dollars we have counted is over $300 million.
But so much of it is just ironing out problems.
Yep. In studio with me, by the way, we have Jesse Schillinger, Honest Accurate. In fact, I think it's honestaccurateauto.com, Colorado Springs. And you guys have 2 locations.
That is correct.
And then Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. And that's right here. I'd say you're kind of around the tech center. What do you consider it? Parker Tech Center.
Yeah, you can lump us into all of that.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, we're about 3 miles east of I-25.
Yeah. So easy to get to. You talk about transmissions. That's what he does. That's what he lives, breathes. They can tear it apart. They rebuild it right there. You get a great warranty. They're just not like R&R and some used transmission. They can fix any transmission you bring to them, and basically you give them different options a lot of times, right?
Yeah, it just all depends on the scope of work and, what literally fits your lifestyle.
Yeah, what they need done for that vehicle. You also do a bunch for municipalities around, right?
Yeah, that's dropped off a little bit.
Why are they buying newer stuff?
Yeah, they're changing their fleet modes. About what they'll fix and what they won't. So
yeah, okay. So now when the transmission goes, they might just buy a new vehicle.
They may just junk the thing, auction it out.
Yeah, but he does a lot of work for cities and just a lot of stuff. Really great guy. How long you been doing it, Jeff?
I started specializing in trannies in 1990.
1990, he started specializing in trannies. I just had to repeat that.
Yes, I had to do it. There you go.
I had to repeat that.
I was a trendsetter before it even hit the internet.
He is very woke. That I can assure you. Now, Kevin Koch in Sheridan Auto Tech. How long you been in the biz, man?
37 years.
37 years. And prior to that, you actually owned a tow truck company or something.
That
right?
was a big mistake, but yes.
Yeah, that's got to be. Talk about owning a business no one likes. I have never had a call ever into the show going, man, I used Wyatt's Towing the other day. They were great. Best tow company I ever had. You never ever hear it. In fact, you're probably cussed at more than any other business.
Yeah, they drop it off at the repair shop. They love the repair shop and still hate the tow truck.
And hate who got it there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And then, of course, the other side to that is, you park in an apartment complex, you come out
did a lot of that,
and your vehicle's gone. Yeah. So that's always a fun thing to do. We're going to hop to the phones. We got full lines in 1 second. I do want to tell people help at troubleshooter.com. 303-713-8255 is the number. I'll let you know when something opens up. But One Clear Choice Doors, I had someone actually text me. It wasn't even a caller. It was a neighbor. They have a door that apparently won't open. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've never worked on garage doors. But when I had one that didn't open, I called One Clear Choice Garage Doors. They have multiple locations up and down the Front Range. They came out. They fixed it. Mine was less than $150. That's exactly who I'd call. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. And let's see here. Who should we go to? Who's been holding the longest?
Line 3.
Line 3. Shane, what is going on? Issue with the spark. You mean a spark as far as like a spark plug or spark the car?
Spark in general, basically. I got a camper van that it's been in the family forever, and it'll just die. It runs great when it runs, but then it just dies. And starting fluid won't do nothing to it. And I'm burning up coils or something like that. It gets real hot and it just no spark. And then after it cools down a little bit, it'll start up and run a little while. And it's a camper. I need it to be dependable. I can't go nowhere with it. I hope you can help me because I don't want to sell it.
What kind of camper van is this?
It's a 1979 B300 Dodge. It's it's a camper van. It's an older one. It's got a carburetor on it.
Yeah, so you probably got a distributor in there, I assume, with wires.
Yeah, and they've replaced it. We put a new distributor in there, and that worked for a little while.
Yeah.
But now it's not doing it. It's going back to losing spark again.
So after you did the distributor, it actually worked for a while?
Yeah, it did.
What would cause a distributor to continue to fail?
It's these aftermarket distributors.
It had fallen apart.
Oh, just cheap.
No, it was
could be.
It was 1979. It was the original one. It had just completely fallen apart.
My God, I was 6 years old, brother.
No, I think I was 12.
Man. So what do you guys think? Another distributor?
Well, the older ones, I don't know if this one has it or not, is a ballast resistor. And that's what maintains voltage. You did, okay.
We did that too. It was cracked.
Yep.
What is a ballast resistor, Kevin? What does that do?
It limits voltage and current from running back and forth.
Got it.
Yeah.
So one thing,
if you've done that, you've done the distributor. But here's where I keep going. Hold on, man. Here's where I keep going back, guys. He did the distributor, and it worked fine for a while. why wouldn't we assume that distributor was just a piece of garbage and he needs another distributor?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of leaning towards. We do some Hondas that have the older distributors, and if you don't put a Honda one back in, which they don't make anymore, you do it every 6 months.
Do they still, on something like that,
can it
just be the cap and rotor, or it's the whole thing?
It's usually a cam crank correlation, which is internal in the distributor.
Okay.
So it's reading off the internals of the distributor. Back then, they didn't have separate, cam crank sensors. It was all inside.
Got it.
So they just don't make them the same.
Well, why don't you bring it to one of these guys to look at, man, or try the distributor again? That's so funny. They just literally all shook their head. By the way, Kevin loves sobs. If you have a sob out there.
I got a question. One guy did mention to me about ground straps because they seem to be burning up coils.
Entirely possible. It's cheap enough to just run your own.
You know, it's funny. I have never heard like almost anything this guy has said except for distributor. What the hell's a ground strap?
The ground from the whatever to the body to the frame. To the engine.
You mean literally just that piece that's bolted in both sides?
You're talking about a 79. There could be lots of wiring issues that have manufactured over time and rubbed. And that's
Kevin actually specializes in electrical problems.
Modern electrical.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, though? You're right. I never even thought about that. Let me do math. 79, 89, 99, 109, 119. That thing's 45 years old. Yep. Oh, my God. Yeah. It could be anything.
Yeah, it's hard to stay reliable at a 79 Dodge.
He just started specializing in transmissions in 1990, so that's 20 years older than him.
Man, makes you feel old, doesn't it, Jeff? Or young.
I feel old all the time anyway.
So, really, I'm not sure what to say. I mean, these guys have given you different things.
You may want to just throw another distributor in there, especially if there's warranty on it. Some of them aftermarket ones have a lifetime warranty, so you can grab another one, change it out, put it in there, see if it helps.
Quick?
I don't know in that one.
So you don't think the ground strap would have anything to do with?
Well, you're not going to hurt yourself with a ground strap.
Yeah,
it only costs a few bucks. I mean, they're cheap.
Yeah.
Why would that? Let's say it just broke. What would happen?
What broke the ground strap?
Yeah.
It's just a grounding circuit. I mean, that's all it is. You got to have power and ground. If you have a weak ground, it raises resistance.
They are important. I mean, you're driving down the road. You're basically a giant static electric battery going down the road.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to actually return all that electricity back into the system where you want it. Yep. When those deteriorate, electricity is still going to find a way to go where it wants to go. So it can go through, we call it electrolysis, it can go through the transmission. It'll eat a transmission alive.
That's crazy. All right, John, real quick, tell us what's going on, then we're going to think about it over break.
Yeah, so I have a 2015 Ford Escape. I think it's important for me to tell you I have 282,000 miles on it.
That's important.
And when
I didn't even know an Escape could go that long. Honest to God, that's crazy.
Original engine and transmission, and I've done no mechanical to it. Anyway,
you're one lucky dog, brother.
When I make turns or U-turns, tight turns, and it's only front wheel drive, not all wheel drive, I get this clicking noise up in the front area, and I don't know what it is.
It's most likely an axle. The CV joints will, when they get into a bind, will click.
And I'm going to let them explain that after this, and they can probably tell you a couple different things to do while driving to verify that's the problem. 303-713-8255. We're going to have one line open, 303 Martino.
I was just going to say, pizza must be a doctor.
He hasn't moved that quick since he got kicked off of Match.com.
Since last Friday when the pizza got here.
Yeah, go get food, guys. Vestera Turnkey, if you ever wanted to kind of diversify your portfolio, maybe even your retirement big time, or if you own a building right now, some kind of commercial building, and you want to basically switch to a different building to make more money and not have to pay the taxes, these guys are who you want to call. They find these hot pockets across the country of towns, municipalities, counties that have great income. Maybe a new company, a big company's coming to town, and it's just a revenue generator. After they find a great town like that, then they start looking at properties. They're not looking to fix and flip anything. They want to find you a property that you can start renting out immediately, but they're going to find the property manager for you as well. You're going to own the house. You're going to own the deed. You're going to own the whole bit. You can sell it anytime you want, but he has had people that have invested $200,000-$300,000 that now have over $1 million off that investment. These guys we have known for 30, 40 years. I want you to call VesteraTurnkey.com. Here's the number, 303-888-3788. 303-888-3788. Denver Regen. We had Dr. Joel in last week. My goodness, what a turnout. He had so many people call him. Listen, we're in December right now. January's around the corner. They have the new weight loss drugs for $295 a month. That includes everything. No long-term contract. Lose up 30% of your weight in like 3 months. Imagine the difference there. I don't care if you're 250 and want to get down to 200, or if you're 300 and want to get down to 200. You got to call these guys. $295 a month. And that's it. There's nothing else. That includes the medication, the instructions, the consultation, the prescription. It's everything. DenverRegen.com. DenverRegen.com.
Go get some pizza.
So who do you guys buy your tires from? U.S. Auto Force or?
No, Main Street Tire. We have a local guy.
Oh, okay.
Yep, he's local. We've been using him since 98, maybe. When I started. But yep, little local guy.
We were buying from ATD. And
we used them before.
Auto Force and
One of them, was it ATD? Or was it another one? I was going to say, one of them we just got letter, they filed bankruptcy. Yeah. No, I like the local guy.
Cool.
They do a lot of educational stuff too, classes once a year.
Oh, cool. What do you think of the rumor Nissan and Honda?
I was just heard about Nissan, Honda, and
they're both on the verge of freaking bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Who is?
Nissan and Honda.
But someone also said that Toyota, Subaru, and somebody else were partnering up. That's where that BRZ Toyota Subaru project came from.
Hopefully they take more from Honda than Nissan.
I was talking with my Nissan tech. That's who the one was supposed to tell me about it. Yeah, he was saying the same thing.
I hate Nissan.
Nissan has some great ideas as far as body styling and interior styling, which Honda is very plain and basic when it comes to that. But their Acura line is so nice. I don't know why they don't take the Acura ideas, or if it's just a money station.
One of the biggest reasons why Honda's almost on bankruptcy now, because of the freaking bottom end.
Yeah,
they've got all those recalls and it's killing them. There's only in like 3 of the Honda lines. There's in almost all the Acura.
Aren't the airbags still an issue with them?
That's not just Honda, it's Takata.
Oh.
Yeah. But the problem is Nissan's electronics and electrical stuff is a nightmare.
Oh, their freaking transmissions are
keeping Jeff.
Yeah, keeping Jeff in business for sure.
But some of those you don't even rebuild, right? You can't.
Well, we used to when you could get the parts.
Yeah, the parts aren't available.
Nowadays, it's easier just to buy a tranny and slap it in there.
Not to mention, Nissan's changed their warranty program. They sell you what they call single-use parts. About $200 worth of shit, cotter pins and gaskets and stuff. If you buy that with the transmission, you have a 3-year, $100,000 warranty. If you don't buy the installation kit, you have no warranty.
And the installation kit.
You have no warranty.
Installation kit you throw away.
It's nothing.
Yeah, as long as they see that you bought it.
Yeah, I think it adds about $85 to the bill. It's
About
not.
185.
It's not a money breaker. But yes, if you don't do it, they say.
It's one of those, if you lose one of the clips, it's nice to have the kit, but you just throw it on the shelf with the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it looks like we're shutting down, gentlemen.
Clark.
Oh. We're not going to have a
That's
show.
a GOP meeting.
I swear to God, I just read two different headlines from the same meeting.
Well, it's two different channels, right?
You know who wants to shut down?
I do.
All the government employees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Because they always get paid
They get paid
retroactively.
retroactive.
Are they eligible for unemployment?
Trajan Wealth, K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. I can't tell. Speaker Johnson just came out, and I don't know if we're going to have a shutdown or not. For the life of me, it says we're not going to have a shutdown. Yesterday, I predicted we would shut down, but by the end of the day, they said they reached a deal. Then that deal blew up last night. Then this morning, they weren't going to shut down, and then they were going to shut down, and now they're not going to shut down. So I'll be damned. I have no idea. I still think we're going to shut down. So now we had a call. By the way, we got one line open, 303-713-8255. John called up, and I forget what kind of vehicle. Do you guys remember what it was?
Ford Escape.
So a Ford Escape. It's got a ton of miles on it, like 250,000 miles.
282.
Do you even think that's possible? I mean, that seems like so many miles.
I drove a car up here with 286.
What is it?
An Acura MDX.
Okay. Well, anyhow, that's crazy. It is crazy. But when he turns, he's hearing a clicking noise. Which way are you turning, John?
It doesn't matter either way. It just clicks, and that axle thing sounds kind of probably what it would be. And I'm just wondering, is that something Jeff would work on, and kind of a estimated crazy cost?
Yes, it is something we'll work on. We would get it up in the air and verify that that's actually the issue before we did it. But you're probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of about 275 to 300 per axle.
Is that a half axle?
Yeah, it was CV joint.
Anything else, John, or is that it?
Nope, that's it. I'll call Jeff. And Jeff, you are great. I've used it before. Thank you so much. I'll come see you.
Oh, cool. That was Jeff's brother we just heard. 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. We're going to have two lines open on a second. Billy's been holding a while, and then Rand has got a question on towing. 303 Martino. Hey, Billy, what's going on?
Hi. I was in an accident, a minor accident on the 12th. I'm just curious, how long does it generally take the at-fault driver's insurance to do the claim?
Well, that's a curious question. It could take a long time, or it could be quick. Is the driver communicating with the insurance company? Do you know anything about it?
I've been told that they did communicate and admitted fault. And
who told you
I've
that?
Been told, one of the Geico agents.
From the other driver?
Right.
Okay, so they say, and then what are they doing? Do they want to send someone out to inspect it? I mean, really, at this point, Billy, you need to bring it somewhere to a body shop and figure out what's wrong with it. I mean, you can start moving forward. Typically, is it totaled or no?
I don't know. It's an old, cheap car. I don't know if they will total it. I have taken it to a shop for the mechanical damage. I live in Lyman, so the same shop can't do body and mechanical.
Well, typically they don't anyhow. But you got to get it. How much was the mechanical part? And is it drivable right now?
It's not drivable, but it wasn't much. It was approximately $1,200.
And then what do you think the body's going to be?
The body's going to need the front bumper and the hood replaced.
Oh, wow. What kind of vehicle is it again?
Hyundai Accent 2016.
What year?
2016.
They might just total that, honestly, guys. How many miles are on it?
A lot, 170 something.
Yeah, they might just total that vehicle.
Well, my problem is I can't drive it, and I need a vehicle. There's no way to rent a car in Lyman.
Well, that's not their fault. You live in Lyman, but they do owe you for a rental. I can't imagine they're not going to pay for a rental, so you might have to have someone, bring you down to Denver or bring you somewhere and pick up a rental car.
Well, they're telling me that they haven't even decided if they're going to accept the claim.
Now, Billy, I swear to God, am I not crazy? You started the call off with you talked to someone at Geico, and they said their driver was at fault.
Yes.
But they also told you
and the driver admitted it.
And they're also telling you in the same conversation they might not pay the claim?
No, this is the last 3 times I've called Geico. They say they're waiting on communication from the insured and
okay, so hold on.
If they're going to pay.
I probably wasn't as clear as I could have been when we started the conversation. That's what I was trying to figure out. So when it happened, now my assumption is you got her or his insurance information at the scene, right?
Yes.
And then you called Geico?
Originally, the next day, I was called by Geico.
Okay, so they must have communicated with them. But now they're having trouble communicating with their client.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that could be a stalling technique. A lot of these insurance companies do this. Hey, let's get Brian Burns on with Compass Insurance. Hold on, Billy. And here's the good news. I think, I'm not sure, but I think he might have a connection at Geico that can kind of help you out as well. But what I'm going to be curious about is his thoughts on if that driver is no longer communicating with Geico, how does an insurance company move forward? Because honestly, they don't have to. They simply don't. And you, Billy, have no authority over any of this. You don't have a contractual agreement with this insurance company. Only that other person does. There's other things that are possible. Maybe you can turn it into your own insurance if you have that kind of coverage. But we're going to look into that stuff. I'll get our expert on. We're going to be back after this. And then Rand and whoever's on 1, you guys will be after that.
Just sue them direct.
Just sue them direct. I just made you contact the insurance company. There it is.
That's when I got.
But it's not their fault. There's no damn rental car around.
Right.
You can go get a rental car. It's not a big deal.
Came out and says, yep, you've been in a wreck, walked away.
I did the same thing. The lady called me, did my report. I gave her the police report number from the guy that hit and ran from me, and she still said, we don't know if we're going to cover this or not. I said, well, you do what you want. I'm dropping off at the body shop, and they're calling you for money. I don't give a...
No, my insurance company kicked in, and then they went after the other insurance to subrogate it.
What a mess. You have a police report number, they have a court date for a hit and run, and you're going to tell me you don't know if you're going to cover it. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they can't commit to it. Yeah.
When you're shopping around, and that's what you do, even for a financial advisor, when you're thinking of someone that's going to help you go into retirement, or you're talking about someone that's going to help you grow your net worth over time and different investments, you want a fiduciary, but on top of that, you also want somebody that teaches the people and helps other people get licensed. You want the man of the man, if you will. And that is Joe Chiano at Become the Banker. I want you to reach out to him, talk about the one annuity product with him where you get the 15% bonus up front. That's the important part. Make sure you mention that one. The 15% bonus up front, that money grows along with the rest of the annuity from day one. And then whenever you decide to turn on that income stream, guess what? You get a paycheck for the rest of your life. It's guaranteed. You're never going to lose money, period of end of story. Go to mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com and give Joe a call. I've been hearing this a lot. They're advertising heavily.
What's that?
Yep.
Rocky
Mountain Roosters.
Rocky Mountain Roosters.
I've been seeing them on TV too.
Yeah. Is it new?
No, they've been around for a while.
Wow, someone pumped some dough into it. That's a big campaign. What do you think something like that charges?
I went with a buddy years ago. I think we were $275 a gun.
Okay.
That was for.
Do they got dogs, or you bring your own?
You can run their dogs. You can run your own dogs. You can hook up with other groups. You pay per bird, so you buy like 5 pheasants. Now that doesn't mean you're going to get them shot. It means that they'll get 5 up for you. If you miss, too damn bad. They also have chucker. You can get chucker out there.
What's chucker?
They're a small game bird. A lot of guys who run dogs will actually buy chuckers to
train them. So let me get this straight. You got a rooster, and you got a chicken, and you got a hen.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget the egg.
Who's the rooster fucking? Vote expected to avoid shutdown. I hope they do shut down.
I do too. There's so much pork in that freaking bill.
How dare they vote on their own raise, bastards. They got the lowest approval rate. Hell, Biden's got a higher approval rate than the Senate and the House.
They can't vote themselves a pay raise. They can only vote. There was a bill passed that they can do it to the incoming Congress, but not for the Congress that's sitting. So in other words, if the people come in January,
they can get
not
the raise.
Vote themselves a pay raise.
Well, no, but if they're going to be there still, they can.
Poor Doc gets going again.
I can't believe I got to drive to that damn Lazy Dog. You been there? They got, I almost never order ribs anywhere. Well, that's not true. If we go to a barbecue place, like, that's just barbecue. But not like it, I'm not going to get riblets.
No.
But I had their sticky ribs last night, man. They're pretty good. They're spare ribs. They have this, like, Asian sweet sticky sauce. They were pretty damn good. But I got a half rack. They gave me 4 bones.
Yeah.
I'd like to see this pig. Where did this pig come from that's got eight fucking bones?
Those are the ones with 23 chromosomes.
Yeah. You been to that place in Parker, either of you, that
the Hickory House?
Hickory House. Oh, yeah, years ago when it first opened, even.
They had the smallest rack of ribs I've ever had in my life.
Tiny. Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. Tulip bulb fed pigs or something.
I was like, this ain't worth it. They wanted $15. This is going back a ways. $15 for a rack. I'm thinking, wow, that's a hell of a good deal. The rack shows up. It's the size of that box, man.
You ever tried Jim's?
Big Jim's? He's gone, isn't he now?
I don't know if he moved or what, because they're developing over there.
Yeah. I have never, so we moved to Parker in 1993. Mm-hmm. We have never had his ribs.
Huh. His meat was good.
No, it was.
So.
Is it still him?
Well, I've seen other guys there, but every time I've ever been there, he's been there.
He's got a hell of a smoker, man.
He used to play for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big man.
I knew he was an NFL guy.
What's his name?
Big Jim.
Big Jim's ribs.
Jim's ribs. Got a step band.
Big white step band.
Put the south in your mouth.
That's what it says. Yep. Those are the places that are usually pretty good, though. I've had some ribs in New Jersey, man, in some of the poor areas of town.
630 K-How.
All right, folks, 303-713-8255, 303 Martino. Kelly, can we get somebody on from Compass Insurance? Did we try to reach out to them? I can't hear you, Kelly. Hit the on button.
Sorry. Yes, I got the on button. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear back from Brian.
Okay, hopefully we're going to go back to that, so I want you to hang tight on that one. Meanwhile, let's go to Rand. He's got a question on towing. We got one line open, 303-713-8255. By the way, I got to tell you again, Water Pros. These guys are unbelievable. They got the best water systems out there for less money. Half the price of the competitors. Great warranties, great service, and great people. Check them out at waterpros.net. Suzanne and I just bought a water softener from them this year. Waterpros.net. And Compass Insurance, who we were just talking about. Well, we'll wait and talk about Compass when they come on. But what is going on, Rand?
Well, I have a 2020 Honda Ridgeline. I'm extremely happy with it. The model that I bought was right below the model that came with a transmission cooler. My question is, the vehicle is rated at a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. It has 9-speed automatic. And I'm wondering what would be a reasonable amount I could tow with that as far as a small travel trailer and not tax the transmission too hard.
Good question.
Well, you stick with inside the manufacturer's ratings, 5,000 or less.
Okay, I understand that, but I mean, the model above had a transmission cooler and it still had the same towing capacity.
Correct.
So I'm wondering if there is some kind of maybe go 2/3 that. Would it be better? Or am I okay?
No, you still have the same towing capacity. I mean, you can add a transmission cooler to it if you're worried about it. But that's literally just to cool the transmission. Your towing capacity does not change according to a transmission cooler.
Oh, I understand that, but I'm wondering if without the transmission cooler, will it cause more wear and tear on my transmission?
Not more wear and tear. You're just likely to develop more heat.
More heat, and that won't cause more wear and tear.
No, not unless you get hot enough where you start to break down the fluids.
Okay.
That is interesting. You would think, Jeff, if you added a cooler to that, I see where he's coming from. You've got two models, one with the cooler, one without, same towing capacity. But what's crazy is the one with the cooler you would think would have a better towing capacity.
It'll probably be more efficient, yes. But
the capacity is the capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to get, like a little teardrop or something trailer?
You know, there's all kinds of really lightweight trailers that
there is.
You could get that up to 3,000 pounds, and they have a bathroom, full sink, you know, everything.
And my dad had one. I couldn't believe it. He had a little Jeep Liberty, and he's pulling this thing that's pretty damn long. It had to be 20 feet long, but it weighed nothing. I mean, it's crazy. They're like feather light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're worried about it, though, you can add a cooler aftermarket.
How much would that run?
I'd have to see his plumbing and see where we have to hang it. Would we make a recommendation as far as what size of cooler?
I got to repeat that real quick. Jeff wants to see your plumbing.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't going to go that far.
Don't forget, he wasn't going to go that far.
Not on the first date, anyway.
All right. Well, hopefully we answered your question, Rand, and I hope you find the unit you love. I think those teardrops are cool looking, man. They're not as big. I don't even know if they have bathrooms or they got the weird little ones.
They do not have bathrooms. They barely have a bed.
Nah, it sucks then. I don't think I'd like that then. They're cool looking, but it doesn't sound like the functionality's there. Hey, I appreciate the call, 303-713-8255. 303 Martino. We do have Brian Burns. Brian Burns. How are you doing, Brian, over at Compass Insurance?
Doing great. Don't need any help with my plumbing.
No, I was going to say, Jeff is, willing to
I hear
help
him
with your plumbing.
It out. I don't need it.
Hey, I got to ask you something, man. Billy has a problem with Geico. Somebody hit her with Geico Insurance. And what's going on right now is Geico reached out to her the next day and said, yes, our client or our customer called up and said they hit you and we're going to get on it. But it's been a while. How many weeks has it been, Billy?
It's just been a week and a day.
So a week and a day later, now what they're saying is we can't get in touch with our client, our insured. We can't get in touch with them. So they're not moving forward with anything. Would you say that's the right way to put it, Billy?
Yes.
So what do you do in a circumstance like that? Then I've got another question, Brian, but how do you get the ball moving when Geico tells you, hey, our customer is not contacting us anymore?
This happens frequently, whether it's legit that they just can't get a hold of the customer doesn't want to deal with it, is not calling back, or if they're not putting a ton of effort in. It happens. So your options are: do you have insurance on your own car? Do you have collision and comprehensive on your own car?
No, I've only got liability.
Okay, so that takes away the primary option, the best option, which is to turn it into your own insurance and let them fight it out with Geico.
And so people know that doesn't affect you at all. In fact, the first nickel they recoup when they go after the other insurance company for reimbursement, the very first nickel would go towards your deductible.
That's right. Yep. Anything they recover goes first to recover your deductible on that. So, but that's not going to be an option for her. Your only other option in this sense is to sue the person directly.
Yeah, and we're not talking a ton because it's a 2016 Hyundai Accent with almost 200,000 miles. I would say the vehicle's probably worth quite a bit. I don't even think it's worth $7,500, but I haven't looked it up. So, but Billy, there's no way to force them to do it. Now, Brian, here's the other thing. She lives, where do you live? Lyman? I forget what she said. Yeah.
Yes.
So she's in Lyman. There's no rental car around there. But in general, from what you know about Geico, they already reached out to her the day after. They told her that their insured literally said it was my fault. Here's what happened. They said that to her the day after the accident. It's just now that they're saying, hey, we can't get in touch with them. But my understanding would be if she went and rented a car, they would end up having to reimburse, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would all be part of the claim, for sure. I mean, that would be part of the expense. You know, the thing is, I'm always hesitant because while they tell you one thing one day, it seems like after a few days goes by, people seem to have a different memory of how the accident occurred. And so,
yeah, of course.
Then they start saying, actually, I think she swerved a little bit. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it's even worse than that because the person that caused the accident might actually think it was their fault, but then they describe it to the insurance company, and the insurance company's like, no, that's a 50-50 blame or something.
Dash cam,
no,
like
you're
the
right.
fellow
That's
says.
the other thing that can happen. I do seem to think that a lot of times it's the actual person that got into the accident admits to it up front, and then after settling down starts to think, well, maybe I wasn't at fault. I see that very common.
Especially after they talk to their insurance company with the leading questions.
Right.
Now, what happens, this sounds a little crazy, but there's no rental cars where she lives. How far would you have to go for a rental car? And let's just say she had to get an Uber or something to a rental car or something. They would actually owe her that as well, right?
Wow, that's a good question. If it would be their responsibility for her to get to the point where she can get a rental car, I mean, you would probably lump everything if you were going to small claims or if they're, if you're going that direction.
And Billy,
everything together.
Billy, when we talk about small claims, it's only going to cost you $50 to file. And the cool part is, the second you serve this person, are they in the same area you are?
No.
Oh, where are they at?
It happened in Boulder, but she lives in Broomfield.
No, that's not horrible. I mean, it's not ideal.
100 miles.
Well,
do you have her contact information?
I've got her name, her driver's license number, her license plate number. It was technically Daddy's car.
How old was she?
Early 20s, I'd say.
You know what I would like? I got to take this break. Hold on a second. I'm going to put her on hold. I'm going to keep you up, Ryan. Hey, Kelly, get the information of the driver. If she can send us a picture of the driver's license that has the address and the person's full name on it, I've got somebody that might be able to find out a phone number for these guys, and then we can call them. I'd be very interested on doing that on the air.
So now she said it was technically Daddy's car, so if she did go the small claims route, does she sue Daddy and the driver?
You would sue the owner of the car. Actually, I don't know why you wouldn't sue them both unless he was under 18. But she said it or 20-something. I don't know why you would sue just both of them.
Insurance. I would go after him. He probably is much more concerned about.
Yeah, but you might as well. It's still only $50 in small claims. It's not $100. You put her on there too. Why not?
Yep.
So, but Brian, you know what? Last time you were in, I'll never forget this. These guys do the Insurance Help Center a lot. In fact, they do it pretty much all the time, but we talk about it when they're in studio. Listen to this, guys. We had someone call up that had, what was it, $40,000 a year in insurance to begin with?
Yeah, that sounds, yep.
I think it was $40,000. So that was a couple rental properties, their main house, and I think some cars and maybe a trailer or something. But they were used to spending $40,000 a year. They had some money. They're probably worth over $2 or $3 million bucks.
Yep.
How much did you save them? Listen to this. This is crazy.
Yeah, it was one of the agents here that was working with them, and they ended up getting a more coverage, got a higher limit of an umbrella policy, and they did it at $27,000. So it was a $13,000 saving a year.
$13,000 and better coverage. That's what these guys at Compass do. Check them out at Compass. Thanks, Brian. CompassInsurance.com. Brian reshops my stuff every single year to make sure we have the right coverage, period. My kids use them. Tom uses them. People around here use them. In fact, he does a lot of businesses. Maybe you own a shop. They do garage keepers, workman's comp, general liability for contractors. They're going to give you the best rate. They're going to give you the proper coverage. And then on top of that, if you already have the best, they are so honest. They're going to be like, I wouldn't change. There's no reason to do so. 303 Martino. Yeah. No, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he hung up. Why?
Oh, because they were Nicole was supposed to send me my new insurance look over.
Oh.
2 days ago.
I'll email him for you right now. Who was it, Nicole?
I think it was Nicole, yeah.
Let me do this spot real quick.
Thanks for pizza, Jeff. Was that yours or?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she got the note or not. She came in.
Yeah. Whoever paid for the pizza, I appreciate it.
Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies. There's so much more to retirement than just what different investments to have. I mean, let's face it, you do need to diversify when you don't have that paycheck coming in all the time and you're basically fixed on Social Security and maybe a 401k that's been growing for years. You do want different options. They can definitely help you with that. But the other thing they do is they have this 5-pillar approach. They're going to talk about the investments, of course, but they're going to talk about taxes. They're going to talk about health care. They're going to talk about your legacy and then, of course, your cash flow needs. It's way more than just the investments. It's going from that working self or working family into retirement. They can talk about long-term care planning. They can talk about estate planning. And they know how to optimize all the benefits that you have, whether through Social Security or maybe a pension. I want you to give them a call. You can sit down with them. You can do a Zoom with them. You can call them and talk to them on the phone. It's all free, but please give these guys a call. You're going to be very impressed. 970-663-3211, or even easier, go to RP as in retirement planning center.com, rpcenter.com. Okay, let's see here. I'm doing it. Okay, what was the name again, Doc?
Nicole.
Nicole? All right, I bet she gets with you real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I think we are going to fly out on Christmas. It'll be weird to be in the airport on Christmas.
You don't pay for it, right?
No. We pay, it's like $16. Right. You pay the taxes, I guess, or whatever. We just bought our new passes, so there were $299 this year.
Passes for what?
Frontier, 1 year, full, all you can fly, $299 for the year. We bought them during a special. I don't know if it's still on or not. But we, mostly we fly to Vegas, Orlando, Nashville, New Orleans. And and Phoenix we've been doing a few times. And they have plenty of routes to all those.
We flew Frontier back from Missouri at Thanksgiving. It's been a long time since I flew them, and I remembered why.
Oh, yeah. It's a city bus with wings, man. The only thing worse is Spirit, and Spirit is worse.
It's hard to get worse, but they are. Yeah.
They're in bankruptcy. They should have, the Fed should have let them merge. I mean, it was stupid not to.
Do they still have that company flying out of the Springs that was like Alliance or something like that?
Legion. I've seen them in Vegas. I don't know if they're in the Springs. I don't see them here either. I've seen them in Legion. The other one that I can't...
Thanksgiving too, but I ended up figuring out how to use air miles on the card, and it ended up costing me $11 to fly.
Oh, that's cool. Champion Air. I used to fly them out of here, and they're still around. I can't believe it. Almost everybody flies.
You still fly Frontier?
I got the all-you-can-eat. I fly them. I probably flew Frontier this year probably 20 times. And it cost me, the total it cost me was $499.
You just hop on the plane with a million other people, cram your butt in there, and take off.
Yeah, but I think
the difference is because of our status now, I can pick out seats and bring luggage, so I don't even got to pay for that stuff.
Okay.
So we book
you're
it.
Next level.
We
up.
pay $16. Then I literally pick the seats, and we always sit across from each other in the aisle. We both like the aisle.
Sure.
Wow. And then sometimes we've upgraded to their first class, which is the front two rows where they block off the middle seat. So there's no one in the middle, and that is now first class on Frontier.
Got it.
And I think they literally call it first class.
What are the rules on booking, though?
24 hours in advance.
No longer.
No longer. You could do it longer, but let's say you were doing it a week, and the option is available a lot of the times, not all the time. But instead of $16, just the airport taxes.
Ryan Schuling.
Ryan has strong opinions, and I like that.
Dan Kaplis.
And Kaplis, he keeps fighting the good fight.
On Denver's talk station.
The station I keep it on.
630 KHOW.
All right, 303-713-8255. Suzanne and I fly Frontier Airlines. These guys are making fun of me. Jeff said I came back from... Where'd you come back from? Thanksgiving?
Missouri.
Yeah, and you said you remembered why you don't fly.
I remembered exactly why I don't fly Frontier.
So we have the all-you-can-eat. I just renewed them. I don't know why it was so cheap this year, but it was $299, and we had it all last year. We probably flew 20 times for less than $500 each last year. I mean, think about all that. That's a lot of flights. That would be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 under most circumstances. This is great. I had to learn how to deal with their system, but now that I know it, it's great. And like I was telling these guys, we're to the level where we can actually pick out our seats, which is nice. So it's like we're sitting where we want to sit. And then I was explaining Frontier's new first class. This is the best. If you haven't been on Frontier, the first two rows, maybe the first three rows, but for sure the first two rows of every flight now, they block off the middle seat and refer to the other two seats as first class. And they charge like $100 for the first class
seat. The seats themselves are like those molded plastic chairs that you just sit in school. So at a certain point, just let me bring my own folding chair and I'll strap it to the dang fold.
The newer ones, and we have flown some newer ones, are actually way more comfortable than the ones you're talking about. Now, it's a 50-50.
I have a question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
In the 80s, go ahead.
Did you ever fly Value Jet?
I never heard of Value Jet. I was on the East Coast at that time.
Horrific.
They were worse.
Crash.
Would you say worse than Spirit? Spirit's got to be the worst airline I've ever heard of.
Value Jet was worse than Spirit.
Value Jet.
Yep.
Huh. How about Crash Airlines? you ever fly crash?
I need more than that 6 inches of leg room, though, in Frontier.
We went after a contractor one time, and his company was Oops
I remember that
Construction. Oops. I mean, zero thought to that name. It's like Ouch Dental, you know? So here's what's crazy. I remember in the 80s, you could smoke on airplanes. They had ashtrays, and people would smoke. I was on one flight flying back from my grandparents solo. I was probably maybe 12, 13. And it was on a big plane going from Arizona to probably Westchester, Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia. And I remembered you could go up a spiral staircase, and there was a bar up there. That was really
that was 747.
It was, and the airline was TWA.
Yeah,
Some of the biggest complainers about removing smoking from the airlines was the mechanics. Because the nicotine would stain invisible cracks in the fuselage, and they could fix them before they were a problem.
Oh, my goodness. All right, everybody hang tight. Jenny and Billy, you guys are next. 2 lines open, 303 Martino.
This holiday, imagine the finest jewelry legends all in a store where they treat you like family.
Decory, Hearts on Fire, Gabriel.
It was Idlewild at the time, not JFK. We went there, and when you see that for the first time,
It's massive.
you look up and you think you could get a house in the real world.
It's like three normal planes.
Right, especially the first time you've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Now, they're all big. But when I saw that thing, I couldn't believe they didn't get off the ground.
The big ones that I see now, like in Vegas, are the
777s?
No, what's the ones? No, I'm thinking of the airline, the Emirates airline. I think it's actually called Emirates. Their planes, I don't know if they're 770. I don't know what they are, but they're massive.
They're the 4-engine A380s.
God, are they big? They just, when the little Frontier, the little Airbus pulls up next to them, it's not even.
No, it's crazy.
You could pull in the back if the wings weren't there.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Concords that used to fly in and out of JFK?
Yeah, there's like 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, back in the 70s,
They blew up,
and
right?
80s.
Or one of them blew up.
Yeah, but they were every hour, going to Great Britain back through the 70s and 80s.
The engine on the 777, the diameter of the engine is almost the same as the diameter of the first 737s.
Wow.
It's that big.
Don't you ever hit turbulence? I've hit turbulence in the mountains that has been jaw-dropping.
Oh, yeah.
And you just go, how the fuck does this thing stay together? It's got these big wings going out there, and you're thinking,
It's flapping
man,
like a bird going through that, too.
and they're moving like this, and everybody, it's to the point where no one's even talking on the airline, and you just go, what the fuck? How does this thing stay together? It is magnificent.
It is.
I never take my seatbelt off.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
So you just piss right there?
No, except to walk to the restroom and back.
That's what the pop can.
Other than that,
can I just get a cup?
Right.
Or you want some water? No, just a cup.
Let me know when I come by to pick up the trash, will you?
So I went to a fertility guy once, and he gave me a jar, and he said, give me a specimen. So I went home, tried it with my left hand, didn't work. Tried it with the right hand, got my wife to do it, left hand, right hand. We even got our neighbor to come over and try with the left hand and right hand. So I brought the thing to the doctor, and he said, how come it's still empty? I said, well, none of us get the lid off. That was a joke I heard. It's the whole people.
Some things you should keep for yourself, though.
I thought that was actually pretty cute.
Yeah, it's a good deal, though, if you fly a lot like we do. And really, the main place we fly is Vegas. Yeah. It's such a quick flight.
I might fly that one year.
Yeah, it's not worth it to you, though.
No, but even if you had to pay every time you went to Vegas, it doesn't cost anything. You go for 40 nights at $99.
It's a little more now.
Yeah.
But with Frontier and stuff, where they really get you is if you're bringing luggage.
Yep.
I mean, we get that now, but when we didn't get it, it's like, I mean, that's more than your ticket.
Yeah.
I love it when you buy
screwed.
the plane ticket for $29, but the suitcase costs $50.
Well, over Thanksgiving, they were charging for the carry.
See, and I've never used this airline mileage, but we have a card with business, which we put a lot of bills on.
Did they flag you at the gate?
Do what?
Did they flag you at the gate and make you pay?
No, when the wife was checking in.
Oh.
We paid $22 for a class. It was $11.50 for a regular flight. Upgrade was $10. The first class. So we flew 2 of us from Dallas to here because we go to Dallas every year. We drove down there with the family, did the 2-day thing, flew back for a bowling event, and then flew out. $44 for us both. It was not, and we were first class, so it's like it was nothing. American Airlines.
Yeah, but
all that was on mileage. All that was on mileage.
You know what? I don't mind.
Is that out of the Springs?
Denver. No, yeah, Denver. Because I rented a car, drove home, did the bowling, drove back, dropped the car off, and flew back out.
How can you argue about it?
Because if they're charging those rates, they don't have enough money to hire the good pilots.
They're telling you exactly what it's going to cost.
All right, the guy's flown for 6 different airlines in 3 months. He smells like vodka.
And only one accident.
We'll take him.
Well, I sat next to a pilot on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
He was telling me that he has to pay for his
He's
flights.
never technically been escorted off a plane.
No, I did one of those United Airlines simulators, but it is the coolest thing in the world. You swear you're actually flying the plane.
Oh, there's one up in the new hotel.
Yeah,
there.
the Polaris.
Yeah, there's one there, a full-blown. In fact, it's so complicated, they say, they put you with the captain, or else you wouldn't even know where to start.
Oh, yeah, this was.
It's not like there's a key.
Right. This was at the actual training center.
Yeah, I had a friend that used to go in there.
Yeah, we met these guys on the golf course.
There's her full Sims, too. They move.
Training captain.
Does that one move at the Air Force? Or just sit
take
there?
us to play golf at your club. We'll take you to the United.
Yep.
So, and the funny thing is, you know, it's
Cool as shit.
So when you take off, it's, you know, you feel it.
Yeah, it moves.
Yeah, so I'm taking off, and I did it. The guy said, "You want to do that again?" I said, "Actually, press the button, and everything goes blank,
And
you swear you're going to crash for a millisecond because you're feeling this. All of a sudden,
Your
it's
brain's
gone.
not used to the fake.
It takes a millisecond for you to realize that you're not going to die."
So the ones there are not, but understand the technology now compared to when those were built.
That's true.
Because of the screens and everything on them, you would swear you're moving.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I like that hotel. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought the event was really nice. I love them big
That
glass
room.
windows, man. Golly. A cool place.
It'll
Did you guys get over to the visitor center? That's
No,
across
we
the
didn't.
street.
No.
I haven't got there yet either.
We will, when we go see an Air Force game, we'll crash here. I'm hoping they have a little shuttle to and from. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Be smart.
I love Air Force games.
Hey, did you know?
They picked a hell of a place to put a
Did you know
stadium.
Jim Giannicelli down
It's
there?
beautiful down there.
The guy
Reminds
was-
me of like Bandit.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I've met with him a couple times, but I don't know him personally. We've done a couple of events together. Really nice guy. Yeah, that hotel is really
Plows
cool.
into crowd at Christmas market in Germany. Germany's a shithole right now. France is even worse. There's areas of France right now that look like there's just riots in the streets.
Well, they are. Please don't go in there.
I wouldn't go in there.
My neighbors, before I moved 3-4 years ago, they're both from France. And, yeah, they're horrified by what's going on in their country.
What the hell?
It's a red wave across the world, actually.
Just they imported, labor from Muslim countries and so forth. And
Immigration, that's the problem. Germany, everywhere. You ask anybody, the problem is immigration.
and they're not assimilating. They're
The TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just tap, record, and send, all within the app.
Get out there and be heard.
To Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help you come and make.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the only show of its kind. We're here to help you out. We're here to solve your problems, answer your questions, make your life a little bit better. In fact, to the tune of over $300 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds. I love it right before Christmas. Let me tell everybody who's in studio with me today. Some really great referral list members. Kevin Calkin, Sheridan Auto Tech. He's been coming in for, God, Kevin, I mean, I don't even know, 15, 10,
Yeah, almost 15. Yeah,
Almost 15.
Between there, yeah.
Jeff Vick Kimmer transmission, at least 10.
All of that, I was here during the Mike Bassett days.
Yeah, that's even longer than. Actually, that's at least 10. At least 10 or 15. God, I lose track of time now. Jesse Schillinger, you've been with us quite a while, too. You're in Colorado Springs, though, so you don't get down in studio every Friday, but you're down here usually every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, try to make it at least once a month.
Yeah, so any car questions you have, it's Car Day, 303-713-8255. 303 Martino, or of course during the holidays here, help at troubleshooter.com. I asked everybody yesterday, and I promise I'll get to the phones, but I do need to tell you about 888heating.com. 888heating.com. $45. He'll come out, clean your furnace. It's going to look great. It's going to be more energy efficient. Dirt, by the way, is the #1 killer of a furnace. These guys are going to clean it. $45, new customers. This isn't some kind of scam or sham. This is a real deal cleaning. They want you to meet their technicians. They want you to get introduced to their company for this incredible deal of only $45. And then when something does break in the future, you're going to know who to call. That's the whole game plan. That's the shtick on it. So the bottom line is 888heating.com. If you haven't done it, you're going to end up calling me up on the air and saying it was the best $45 I've ever spent on my house, Mark. 888heating.com. Now, yesterday I asked how much do you tip? And I promise I'll go to the phones. We got full lines. But I got to ask you guys. Dragon, we found out's a cheap ass. We definitely found out Dragon's a cheap ass. I said, how much do you tip your trash guys? Dragon says, what?
None.
They get paid, don't they? Say that again.
None. They already get paid by the company.
So like I said, I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I don't know what to tip my trash guys for this reason, though. For half the year, it was the worst damn service I ever had. It was one of these deals you're just bitching. Like, they're supposed to come on Tuesday and it's Thursday. And I live out in the country, and we've got bear and all kinds of stuff. So that means the trash cans come back down our long driveway. So they finally sold because they were falling apart. Someone else bought it, and the service went back to what I'd call normal service. But then they sold about 3 months ago to another company. This company so far has been pretty good. In fact, I don't think they've missed one day. Everything's going great. But when I go to tip them, I'm not tipping them for the year. I'm literally only tipping them for 2 or 3 months. So I'm thinking, okay, well, how much do you generally give a trash guy, Kevin?
Well, I don't have trash service in my house because I have dumpsters at the shop. So
you really don't have trash service?
Not in my house. I just take it with me in the morning and throw it away when I get to work.
Damn, you're cheap.
Well, no, I don't want the dogs throwing it out in my yard and driveway or something.
You remind me of my dad all of a sudden. He had a place up. He had a place up in West Creek, and all the neighbors would chip in for the dumpsters down at the bottom, where you could throw stuff in. He wouldn't chip in
and use it.
No, he wouldn't use it. But when we'd go up and use the mountain house and leave, we had to take the trash, and you passed a state park on the way back to Castle Rock, and we'd have to throw the trash in the damn state park dumpsters because, damn it, our tax dollars pay for those state parks. We'll use their trash. I guess maybe you're not that cheap, but that's pretty cheap.
No, but my dumpster's $300 a month, whether it's empty or full, so might as well.
You might as well use it.
Yeah.
Jesse, what do you tip a trash guy?
Depends. I have work and I have home.
Well, what do you pay? I'm just talking home.
$40 at the home, and the work guy gets a $100 bill.
Wow. Now, will he throw these dumpsters at shops, guys? Do they pick through it? Do they take? Well, they take a tire. I'll just come out and say it.
No. If you don't leave them on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I fought a trash guy in Castle Rock 5 weeks in a row. I had an old television. It was my daughter's Dora the Explorer, little tiny bedroom TV with a VCR built in at the bottom. You can picture this. I, first of all, just put it next to the trash can, and they left it there. So the next week, I put it in the trash can, thinking the only reason they didn't grab it is they were too freaking lazy because the arms couldn't grab it. And it's a little thing. I thought it was a missight. Next week, I put it in the trash can. Guess what? It was outside of the trash can. Trash can, empty TV there. Now I'm scratching my head going, what are we talking about here? So then I find out that you're not supposed to throw TVs away. But Mark's got an idea. I mowed the lawn, and I had all the grass shavings. I put it half in the hefty bag, put the TV in, and then finished out the rest of the grass. There's no way, baby. This is it. Then I put it in the trash can. Son of a bitch. Trash comes. The grass was gone. The TV was right there on the curb again. It was. Absolutely no joke was. You know how I finally got him to take it?
You put it in a cardboard box.
Nope. I put it like I did the very first time next to my trash can, and I taped a $20 bill to it. That TV was gone that next trash day. God, it drives me crazy, though, they won't take certain things now. They won't take, like, I had a college mini fridge I wanted to throw away. They won't take that because of the compressor, the Freon.
They won't take carcasses either.
No, I can't. Jeff's an avid hunter. I never thought about that. So my neighbor, when I was out of town, neighbor Dave, one of the best neighbors I've ever had. In fact, we literally fly out to Arizona to see him occasionally. And this guy, when we were gone on a bus trip, you know, Suzanne and I disappear for 4 or 6 weeks a year. So we were somewhere on the other side of the country. And I get a call from our other neighbor who, I'm not going to say which neighbor, but So, and she's complaining there's a dead deer in our backyard. Well, I mean, that happens. Our backyard's completely fenced in, but deer can jump in. The fact they decided to die in my fenced in area sucks. And I've never dealt with this before, and I'm out of town, so it doesn't even matter. But she's getting all stinky about it. And apparently the deer was getting stinky. So I called neighbor Dave, and I said, Dave, man, I don't know what to do. Can you help me out? He went over there, cut that sucker up into trash bags, put it in my trash can, and my trash guy did take it away.
Just didn't recognize it, I guess. He could find a TV, but he couldn't find a deer.
different house.
Well, Jeff doesn't put it in trash bags. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's right. He just leaves the guts,
right.
Just the intestines out front.
I've got one neighbor that literally hates me, and I think I really sealed the deal when I was cutting deer up in the trees. I got them hanging out there.
They love that, huh? Oh, my God. I'm not going to say who it is, but we know someone from the show that's also an avid hunter and knows that Suzanne's not. She eats meat and all that stuff, but she just, nothing to do with hunting, never grew up with hunting. It's Bambi out there. And I've never really hunted. I mean, I shoot rabbits and varmint, but other than that. So this guy would go out of his way to always show her the deer hanging and drinking the blood out, and it would drive her absolutely nuts. What he didn't realize is she does all the scheduling, so he has not been invited in for a very long time. All right, what is this, Jenny? I'm sorry, thank you for holding so long. Ross, John, and Brian, I promise I'll get to you next. Jenny, what is going on? Jenny, oh my goodness, did I accidentally hang up on her? I might have. That's my bad. You know what? If she calls back, interrupt me, and I promise I'll get on there. Hey, Ross, you got a comment on something. What is it? Ross?
Hello?
Now I'm getting it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, there you are. What's going on, Ross? How are you, sir?
Good, thanks. I just wanted to pass along some kudos to Kevin.
Nice.
Called the show a few months ago. Issue with a burnt valve on a Honda. Took it to a dealership. Two options were replace the engine with used or rebuilt. You guys suggested maybe I stick it into Kevin and Sheridan Auto Tech. We did. So far, knock on wood, it's been running great. We saved a few $1,000, and so just wanted to say thanks to Kevin.
What did you end up doing, Kevin?
We did a valve jump.
And how much was that? Just roughly, how much was it, Ross?
I think it was, $4,000 or something, Ross? I can't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
roughly about $4,000.
And what would an engine have been?
Double that.
Well,
oh, my God.
A used one was double that.
Oh, wow. And a new one, forget about.
Yeah.
That's basically
but
it.
he only had 80,000 miles on it, and I felt good about doing it. Yeah.
And it's all good, huh, Ross?
Yeah.
No problems.
We had to talk him into it a little. He was a little hesitant. Yeah.
Hey, $4,000's a lot, man.
Yeah.
So,
Like a kitten, so.
I appreciate that. You know, someone is happy when they spend $4,000. They call in and tell you, great job. No, seriously. But think of the money you saved them. So
But it's common on Hondas. They don't adjust the valves and it burns valves.
I didn't know that. You guys were telling me Hondas have gone, and I didn't realize this, but Hondas have gone to crap. Is that true? Because everybody loves Acura.
Well, not necessarily that they've gone to crap, but they're just having some problems right now.
Like what?
Well, they've got a big recall on what's called bottom end. It's a manufacturing defect.
Like an oil pump?
No, they're lower the block.
Block itself.
Oh my God!
And so they've got a huge recall on these.
So
things.
that's basically a new engine.
Yeah, and so it's affecting almost the entire Acura line and about 3 different models in the Honda.
Oh.
And it's a huge financial burden.
Oh my God! Yeah, I heard you guys saying they're in a lot of trouble. It seems. I mean,
Yeah,
you can only have so many recalls.
They're talking about merging with Nissan.
They better do something, huh? Okay, let's see here. A question on moisture in headlights. We got an issue with a roofer. And a question on capital gains, and then whoever's on line 3. Everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. Hello? Hey, Kelly, can you hear me?
See, I never see my trash guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually tape it to the lid.
Yeah.
We're in Denver County,
Top of the lid for 'em.
so they're county workers.
The business trash guy, we take him. We get all of our vendors a thing of popcorn with a card. So then we'll just shove a couple bucks in there, or whatever. Depends on what they do. Some guys that deliver a lot get a little more than the guys that deliver twice a year. You know.
DiscountBath.com. Yep, I said it. A place you can get your bath done, your entire bathroom, or just the shower you can have remodeled. But they can actually expand your closet. They can rearrange everything. Whatever you want done to that bathroom, they can do. Or just like I said, a tub to shower conversion. Complete bathroom remodels at a discount price. That's their model. And here's what I really like about these guys. The warranties are unbelievable. And the low maintenance solid wall systems are really cool for maybe a guest bathroom. But for more information and to have them come out and go over ideas and let them prove to you how great their pricing is. Maybe you priced out a bathroom in the past and you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting to pay that. Have these guys come out. They got deals going on because of the time of year that's quite incredible. They'll help you with colors. They'll help you pick out flooring, tile, whatever you need done, they can do at DiscountBath.com. That's DiscountBath.com. Here's another company I've had out to the house numerous times. The Art of Granite. Mitch Floria and the gang. If you want brand new, solid surface, beautiful countertops and cabinets, these guys can come in and make that bathroom or that kitchen look brand new. They also have a line of sinks. They're great people, and they'll give you an estimate over the phone. An estimate over the phone. They'll need a couple pictures, and then you call them up, send them over the pictures. Mitch will get on with you and tell you, hey, that's going to be $3,000 or whatever it's going to be, but right over the phone. That's how secure they are with their pricing. The, as in THE, artofgranite.com, theartofgranite.com. What's that?
It was a hard sell to get him to do that. He did not want to do it.
He's happy now, though.
He was just, well, I don't know.
You burn a valve, you kind of.
Well, but he didn't understand, the whole thing. And his wife wasn't sold on it, so if she wasn't, he wasn't.
That's a lot of dough, man.
Called back a few times. But it's a lot of work, pulling the head. Sent it to the machine shop, and they redid the whole head, new guides, everything else.
It's just a whole new top end, right? Did they do all the valves?
Yeah. Well, they machine some, replace some, whatever they can do. Yeah. Well, I get in that argument all the time with guys. If you don't adjust the valves, it burns you. No, they get loose. No, they get tight. Well, how do they get tight if you don't adjust them? Okay, it's not a 350 Chevy. It's completely different.
How often are you supposed to adjust the valves on a Honda?
60,000. And they're never done. Even if you take it to the Honda for a service, they don't adjust the valve.
How hard is it to adjust them?
It's time consuming.
Like an hour a valve?
No, you got 16 valves, and probably, somebody who does it regularly, you could do it a couple hours.
Okay.
Maybe an hour.
But it's not, Wouldn't you think they'd actually make something that auto adjusts?
They do.
They do.
Oh.
Most of your 4-cylinders now in the Honda line do. But your 6-cylinders that have a timing belt, most of your Fords and Chevys, you don't have to go in and adjust. They're all self-adjusting.
That's why.
But they have bigger problems, right? Your GMs over here and your Cadillacs you have to pull the whole top off and rebuild them because different problems, but cams are coming apart, lobes are wearing down,
The 3.6.
the rollers are shutting down. They have a spring-loaded one and a solid one. The spring-loaded one will collapse and not come back up. Like, they just have different issues. Honda's using something that's been there since the 80s that they've used, that they know, that they trust, and it's why they're dependable.
If it's properly maintained.
If it's properly maintained. But you
says to do that.
you catch it. I just got in an argument with a lady the other day about doing her transmission fluid at 80,000. My book doesn't say 80,000. Ma'am, your book says never change the fluid.
Yeah.
Guess where you're going? The fluid breaks down. That's just what happens. You can't change that. Like, I don't know why these manufacturers call it a lifetime fluid. It is idiocracy.
That guy owning the car, he's going to get rid of it as soon as he quits.
It's the life till Kimmer gets it. Yeah, that's horrible.
Interesting.
Pilot? Is that what that was? Yeah. Obviously. CRB.
Did you guys see you're getting a Buc-ee's your direction?
Yeah, I see the argument.
Why is there an argument?
They're fighting against it.
Why?
Dude, it's...
Who would fight against a Buc-ee's?
Hey, they're fighting it big time.
Why are they fighting it?
The traffic flow, what it's going to do to their property values.
It's Buc-ee's. Their value will go up. They have barbecue.
You know how much money they're going to bring into your community? Like, come on.
The tax revenue would be crazy.
That's what I said. You're going to get
is it Larkspur or is it Monument?
Palmer Lake.
Palmer Lake. They have nothing.
And they're happy. Yeah.
Local fiduciary advisors, TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
You know, we were just talking during the break. By the way, if you go to YouTube, type in Troubleshooter Network, you can find us. And we always have conversations, of course, during the break. Some clean, some not so clean. But here's the deal. I was just told something I find amazing. Now I'll go right to the phones. I can already hear people cussing at me. Here's the deal. Buc-ee's was going to go to what I thought was Larkspur, but it's not. Where is it?
Palmer Lake.
Palmer Lake. The people of Palmer Lake, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they are arguing against the Buc-ee's. What are they, crazy? The tax revenue's unbelievable. They're going to be able to get barbecue freshly made in the store, fresh made fudge. And you can even buy a grill, a smoker, lawn chairs. They have the best clothing department I've ever seen. We just dropped $200 at the other Buc-ee's less than 4 or 5 days ago when we were heading to Nebraska. Why anybody, if people of Larkspur, listen up. Listen to me. Don't be a fool. You let Buc-ee's come in and you're happy Buc-ee's is there. It's going to up your value. Your house, people will come live in Larkspur to buy Buc-ee's. You follow what I'm saying? People, listen to me. Do not vote it down if it goes to a vote. Quite frankly, I don't think it should go to a vote. They should just build the Buc-ee's. You guys like Buc-ee's, don't you?
Absolutely.
Not quite that much, but yeah.
Oh, my God. Kevin, have you had their 3-meat sandwich?
It is good.
It's turkey, sausage, and beef.
Sure.
It's turkey, sausage, and beef on one sandwich.
And it's good beef, too. Yeah.
They have a new line of hot sauce. My God, I bought 4 of them the other day. Yeah, they've got one that says, they make it sound like it's going to be the hottest thing I ever had in my life. I can't wait. Jeff, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure this was only supposed to be a 60-second spot.
For Buc-ee's. By the way, this hour brought to you by Buc-ee's. No, okay, listen, we're going to go right to Brian. Hey, Brian, what's going on with this headlamp?
Well, hey, thanks for taking the call, Mark. I've got a 2016 Subaru that I'm noticing my wife takes it into the car wash, and, of course, afterwards there's moisture that builds up in the headlamps. I looked at it, and I actually put some tape across the seam of it just to see if that's going to curtail it at all, but the moisture's still there. Is this something that I can seal up, or do I just need to replace the headlamp?
Yeah, I actually have that same problem on my RV, and I looked anytime, it's there. It just doesn't go away, but the light works fine and everything. And, of course, it's probably $1,000 thing. So guys, is there any way to fix that?
And when you pull it out and replace it and you flip the light up, you'll be amazed how much water's actually sitting in there that you don't see.
Yeah, I bet you would. But there's no way to fix it.
No, just replace the headlight.
That's it. The assembly.
Yep.
That's it, Brian. Man, I wish they did have an answer for you.
Won't the heat from the bulb evaporate the water?
No. You're talking about, I have some pictures on our website because we took one the other day of a car that had it, and when you turn it up, it fills the headlight out. It's like a fish tank.
That much.
All in, it just sits in the bottom.
And where does the water generally eventually come in from?
It's a crack in the seam or something. Yeah,
Okay.
the seal. Yeah.
So it's not like you had to hit anything. It just happens.
No, not necessarily.
And what year did you say that was, Brian?
I got a hunch it's hitting all the potholes in Denver. It's
Oh, that'll help. Yeah, you know what's funny is when we travel, you can tell when you cross into Wyoming, all of a sudden it's like you're on glass. It's the smoothest, nicest, best roads in the world. And then when you're coming back, as soon as your car starts bumping around, you know you're back in Colorado. Hey, Brian, thanks for the call. 303-713-8255. Alex, what is your question, sir? Go ahead, Alex. I hear you breathing.
Hey, how you doing, Mark?
Good, man. What's going on, sir?
Selling a house and got a big capital gains, wondering what to do.
Well, there's different things on here. First of all, you have your exemption. How much are we talking? And are you married?
Yeah, I'm married, probably capital gains of $400K.
Well, that should be covered by your exemptions if you're married and sell it. I mean, is it your primary residence or is this like a rental or something?
It's been my primary residence for 20 years, and then I moved out and moved into another house, and my kids have been renting it.
Well, okay, hold on a second then. Have you lived there 2 out of the last 3 years? I'm pretty sure that's the math.
Nothing, no.
Well, then you definitely are going to have capital gains. So you can either do a 301, 503C. You could actually, if you want to sell it and buy another property, a like property, you could do it that way. And I can put you in touch with someone like Vestera that does that. But if you actually need the cash and want to take the gains now, the best way to offset them is to think of all the money in the last whatever amount of time, 20 years you've put into that house. For example, that new roof you paid cash that wasn't an insurance claim, that new furnace you put in, that garage you built out back, the new flooring you put in, the new countertops, the new toilet, all these fixtures that you have upgraded over the years, you can apply towards your basis.
Between my wife and I, what is the exemption on that?
But have you lived there in the last 2 out of 3 years?
No, not really.
Well,
no.
then no, you don't have an exemption. That's a rental property. That's nothing's exempt. The only thing that's going to be exempt is one home for the both of you.
Got it.
Yeah, that's it, man. But like I told you, you've got to think of all the money you put into it. And honestly, if you've owned that house over 20 years, think about it. Who's going to more than 30 years? So, Alex, I want you to read between the lines here. In the last 30 years, did you put $400,000 into that house? I don't know if you did, but I can assure you this. I don't know of any agency in the government that's going to be able to track how much money you have put into that house in 30 years. You need to have a talk with your accountant. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Any other questions, sir?
No, sir. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. 303-713-8255.
Hey, Mark, can I
Yes,
have
sir.
30 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to leave early, but I just wanted to wish all the listeners and the morons a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you on the other side.
You too, Doc. You have a good Christmas, man. Say hi to your son. I know you're seeing him. And I liked how he looked over at those three and called them morons.
No, I said the YouTube morons.
Yeah, I know. But he left. Did he actually say YouTube?
He was actually pointing at Kevin.
I thought he was
That's what I
pointing
would
at
thought,
Jeff.
you know. He said you too, and I thought it was Jeff. And
Yeah, that's what I thought. You two morons. I thought he was you two right there. He's talking about our YouTube morons that are out there. Okay, Charles, what's going on with this roof?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Charles.
Yeah, what happened was, yes.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Go ahead, man.
Okay. But what happened was when we had all that hail in the summertime, contractors were coming through and everything, and of course knocking on doors. I had 2 bids, and then our neighbor's contractor came and said, well, I could do it probably cheaper. I said, okay, well, give me a bid. He never gave a bid. And then he says, well, I'm still going to do your roof. I said, I still need a bid. Well, he never gave a bid. And he told me he was going to do it when he did our neighbor's roof. And I told him,
but why does he keep telling you he's going to do it if he never gave you a bid and you didn't sign a contract and hire him? I'm really confused here.
Right. He never gave me anything in writing. Next thing I know,
he did your roof?
Yes.
Well, were you in town?
I wasn't home.
So you come home and you have a new roof.
My wife was home, but she works online. She works remotely, and she can't get up from her studio.
Well, okay. First of all, Charles, listen. Wait. I see where this is going, and I've got good news and bad news for you. But the one thing I never want you to say again is that she was home, but either didn't know they were there, which is impossible. I've been in the house with her doing the roof. There's no way not to know, and I don't care if you live in a 5-story building. But the fact that she just can't get up all day long is insane. But hold on. I got to take this break, but I do have some good information for you, but maybe some bad.
I remember we had a roof.
I thought he was going to say
she didn't know it.
She didn't know.
Merry Christmas.
See you. Merry Christmas.
Good to see you, Jesse.
See you, Jesse. Hasta la vista, man.
Have a Merry Christmas.
You too, sir. Say hi to your wife.
Well, my son was,
I will.
Teenager, sleeping in. I said, dude, they're doing the roof today. But I'm just like, all right, you've been warned.
Yeah, you'd be warned.
So I get a phone call, and I could hardly hear him over the...
No, you can't.
And he's like, you have no idea. It's like, what? I can't hear you. I can't hear. He wanted me to come get him.
It's so bad, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. He's stuck in the house. Dude.
You want to sleep in? Go back to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Could have come to work with me in the morning, but you knew better.
When my kids were little, the neighbor was getting a roof next door. They're watching Disney movies. It was Cinderella, and I call them to lunch. They don't come to lunch. They've got the TV cranked up so they can hear over the roofers next door.
Hold on. Bradley O'Brien, he is our real estate attorney. He's the expert on the show. If you are a unmarried couple, maybe siblings, maybe a partnership looking to buy a house or a property together, you're going to want to hire him. How about just someone to review the financing documents? How about just a contractual review in general of a lease? How about buying and selling docs, loan docs, complicated deals, simple deals, property line disputes, fence issues, easements, access, adverse possession, liens, title and survey reviews? I'm trying to think of everything that's got to do with residential or commercial real estate. I think I hit on probably 10% of it. But here's what Bradley O'Brien does. All of it. If you want the best out there and it has to do with real estate, you call Bradley. And if you're a landlord in Colorado and haven't updated your lease, I implore you to call Bradley. 720-370-7388. 720-370-7388 or olslaw.com. Keep going.
So anyway, they've got the TV cranked up so they can hear over the roof. So I call them a couple of times. They don't. So I go over there and I have to turn off the TV or pause it actually, so that they can hear me and they can come to lunch. Well, it's in the middle of that song. Zippity-doo. I turn it off. The roofers are singing along with the fucking video.
Oh, that's funny as hell. That original Zippity-doo-dah from the Disney.
That was from Song of the South.
It was so good. Someone sent it to me. I'm not even going to say who, but they sent it to me, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I really listened to it for the first time in probably 30 years. And that old boy can sing, man. I mean, he can really sing. There's no way he's alive anymore. He looks like he's 60 or 70.
No, because that was done in the 40s, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Uncle Remus, right?
Yeah.
I don't even think they play that movie anymore, do they?
Well, no, it's not politically correct.
It's been woke or whatever.
You also can't have Yosemite Sam.
Yeah.
Why not Yosemite Sam?
Guns, baby.
Oh, God.
And they pulled
Steamboat Willie, I think he's gone.
They pulled Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, I love Speedy Gonzales. No, I did love Speedy. That was one of my favorite cartoons. I liked a lot of the Hanna-Barbera stuff, too.
Foghorn Leghorn was always my favorite.
Yep, Foghorn Leghorn. A good old-fashioned Tom and Jerry, especially when Bulldog was in it.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
Oh, funny stuff. I'd love when you just paint like a tunnel. He'd just run right into it. Or the damn Roadrunner would somehow go right through it and then he'd crash into it.
The bus comes out, he's in the Acme Bomb Company and all the
Acme, yep. It was Acme was everything.
Yep.
And then how about classic Bugs Bunny sitting in the stew pot? He's sitting there putting carrots in.
With Hazel the Witch.
Hazel the Witch. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he was just trying to cook up the rabbit.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that was a name.
Yeah. Brings out the knife. Sharpen up the spit of hair. Spit of hair.
This guy with the roof's going to be arguing betterment if he doesn't think he's going to end up paying a nickel for it. So I think we know a couple things I can assume. One, he got the insurance money.
Oh, spent it.
I don't know if he spent it or not, but
I mean, what roofer's going to go over there without a signed contract? Somebody signed something.
Well, what person's going to be home and all of a sudden roofing noise is happening and not moving?
Yeah, you're dropping bundles up on the roof and you can't leave your computer.
The whole story's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to pull a fast one.
Well, he's definitely in a better negotiating position than he was before the guy.
Definitely, if he literally didn't sign anything.
Yeah.
And if his wife didn't sign anything. Yeah. But trying to walk into court and say, hey, we just walked home and someone did our roof. Believe it or not, he could still owe some money on it. But it's an unbelievable story.
After we got...
what kind of crew did he have to do 2 houses in one afternoon before the guy got home from work? You know?
After the house I was renting in Parker got roofed, about 3 weeks after it got done, I get a call from my son. Somebody's up on the roof. The roof is gone. Right? We're not expecting anybody.
The city?
No, it wasn't the city. So I start rushing home. My son, he goes and grabs a 9mm. He's standing at the top of the stairs so you can see this window, and down the stairs. I get there, and there's a guy up on the roof. And I come out trained on him, yelling at him to get down. This guy freaks out, and he just about falls down the freaking ladder.
Or DRHI.com.
Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
All right, 303-713-8255. I'm going to go right back to Charles. Charles is in a interesting situation. He never signed a contract on a roof. He does admit he talked to the contractor, but he wanted a bid from the contractor and never got one. And he was gone one day. His wife was home, but he was gone. And this roofer that did his neighbor's roof that he wanted to bid from came over and just knocked out your roof. Right, Charles?
That's correct.
Well, and by the way, that's the craziest story ever. But they have nothing signed by you. That's basically what your question is, I assume.
Correct. And the contractor never was actually on the job site during the job.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? His crew was. Somebody was if your roof got done.
Correct. Somebody was there. Okay. But it was done on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Originally when we talked, I told him, look, I need to have a contract and everything. And I gave him the days, if he was going to do it, what days it needed to be done.
Yeah, but all of that's in the past, and it doesn't matter. The fact someone was home when the roof started, I mean, someone knew what was going on, and whatever. I don't even want to get into that aspect, but I'm telling you right now, that's not some kind of legal argument that's going to hold much water. The fact of the matter is you did contact them, you did need a new roof, and whether people like it or not out there, a lot of judges would look at the value, the improvement to your house that did need to be done. Now, the good news is I think you've got a ton of negotiating power, but I want to bring in a friend of mine, Jay Bretz, that owns Excel Roofing. Jay, I know you guys wouldn't start a roof if you didn't have a contract. So I don't even know like how to get your brain in that position. But let's pretend you're in that position. Let's pretend the contractor really thought he got the nod and the wink from this guy, but nothing's in writing, and he went over and knocked out the roof. Now, listen, it sounds crazy, but his wife was there, but she was working and couldn't leave her computer or whatever it is. But I don't even care. That story sounds so, honestly, Charles, that sounds crazy. I'd never repeat that to a judge or anybody else. But Jay Bretz, if your company found itself in this, now you want to get paid for the roof, what would you do? And by the way, Charles, I assume you got the money from the insurance company, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But you're missing one part.
Go ahead.
The shingles showed up when my wife was at work, so she didn't know they dropped them in the driveway.
Okay.
The crew showed up a day and a half later.
So she didn't notice the shingles in her driveway?
Until she raised the door to leave to go to a meeting, and the delivery guy was already gone.
Okay. So you guys knew the shingles showed up. This is not the argument you want. Charles, I'm just trying to be very honest with you. That is not the argument you're going to want to have in court, but I want to bring Jay in on this now. Jay, what do you make of this situation?
This is a crazy one for sure, Mark. So the first two things that come to my mind is, did they agree on a price? Did they ever talk about how much it was going to be? And also, was a permit pulled when the job was done?
Hey, that's a very good question. Was a permit pulled, Charles?
Okay, the permit was pulled 2 days later.
2 days later after the roof was done, or what?
Yes.
Or after the shingles were delivered?
Charles, did
after
the roof pass
was
inspection?
done, he actually showed up and said, we need to go down to get a permit. He's the contractor. I thought that was already done.
Wait, so you went down and got the permit?
He took me down and the neighbor.
Okay, this is, I don't even, Charles, I don't know where you're going, but I'm going to call BS where I hear it. Now you're saying you never signed anything, fine. Maybe you didn't sign anything. I don't think you're going to get off paying this guy on some kind of loophole like that, because the bottom line is you went down and pulled a permit for the roof. The shingles were delivered and sitting in your driveway 2 days before. Your wife was there when they were literally doing the roof. I mean, I can't sugarcoat it anymore. I personally think you're trying to pull a fast one.
No, I'm not trying to pull a fast one. He's trying to claim extra stuff on the insurance. He already got $14,400.
Okay, what extra stuff? Supplementals like what?
Like bringing the whole thing up. Well, now it's top grade. He pulled my vents off my roof that were high end, and he put cheap ones up there. And he said I had a roof metal exclusion, therefore it doesn't qualify for him to put what he pulled off back up on there.
God, this is a cluster. Jay Bretz, I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Jay, what do you make of this? I mean, this thing is just, it's a shambles. How much more money does he want?
He wants $5,000.
And that extra $5,000, I mean, did he legitimately do that extra work? I guess it's really a pretty simple question.
No.
So he didn't. Then just don't pay him. Let him sue you. Let him lien the property. You'll have your day in court fairly quick. He's got to, if he wants to lien the property, you better be in court within 9 months of him giving you that 10 days, and then you'll be in front of the judge, and you can explain to the judge, I didn't authorize this extra work. In fact, Your Honor, I didn't even authorize the roof itself. And you'll have your time in front of the judge.
Mark, this I think is a really important point.
Go ahead.
How much did the insurance company allow, and how much did he pay the contractor?
Okay, the insurance company allowed $14,400 initially. And then they said if everything is brought up to full specs, it'll be $18,000.
So that's just the depreciation, though, Jay.
Correct.
Well, that's
what he's trying to collect.
It sounds like $4,000 in the supplement. So you paid him the $14,400. Did the insurance company pay you the difference of this money, Charles?
In other words, does he just want all the money from the insurance company? Is that what it boils down to, is what Jay's asking?
Yes.
Okay, and arguably maybe he should get it. Jay?
This one right here is
What is that?
Getting into the legal part of it. It would be what a judge decides. Because
Yeah, hold on a second. Jay, I'm going to put you on hold real quick, and I'm doing that for a reason. Bradley O'Brien, let me ask you something. This guy had no contract on a roof. And listen, there is no contract. Apparently, the roofer just showed up and knocked out the roof without his authority. He wanted a bid, never got a bid. After he got finished with the neighbor's roof, apparently this roofing crew just knocked his out. He ended up paying him $14,000, even though he didn't authorize the roof. I know that sounds crazy. But then after that, there was some supplemental claims for another $4,000. So the caller, Charles, got an additional $4,000 from the insurance company, and the roofer did some extra work, and they want that $4,000. Where the caller's coming from is there's no contract. There's just no contract according to him, nothing signed. So what do you make of a situation when there's nothing in writing regarding price? It's evident the roof was done. In fact, Charles went down and actually pulled the permit for the roofer. So that whole part is kind of weird within itself. But this extra $4,000 Charles doesn't want to pay to the roofer. The roofer is claiming he's probably going to lien the property or something. What do you make of something like that?
Was the homeowner aware of the work, the roof replacement going on before it was done?
Well, okay, this is even more insane. You ready for this? They delivered the shingles, and his wife saw the shingles in the driveway. 2 days later, they're up on the roof doing the roof, so they never said anything when the shingles were there. Meantime, by the way, the caller, Charles, at some point goes down and pulls a permit with the roofer, and then the wife was there while the roof was being done. But yet she couldn't go out and question anything because she was working from home and couldn't leave her cubicle or whatever the hell it is. So, yeah, I mean, that's how much sense that makes.
Oh, okay. Well, there may not be a written contract, but there may have been an oral, unwritten contract created at some point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe not when the original roof was put on, but at some point there was an understanding that this roof was going to get put on, and the work was done. So somewhere in there is a contract, I would guess.
I would think a judge would look at it all day long, and then the real basics are, and I'm going to say this to you, Charles, the real basics are your insurance company paid you X amount, $18,000. When the roofer finds out, if they don't already know, you got an $18,000 payout, only paid them $14,000, and they're the ones that actually called your insurance company, got the supplementals, got them done and put on. You've got no case here, man. The best I would say is you try to negotiate it in half or something, but honest to God, you have no case here. I mean, Brad, I realize you're not a judge, but just listening to this, the whole thing's crazy. I think he's trying to, I don't want to say he's trying to pull one over, but he's trying to save money, and most likely that roofer's going to get all the money. It's even possible that roofer could get other costs in court too, isn't it?
I think the fact the homeowner was aware of the work being done, even if there wasn't a signed contract, is a significant fact that would weigh against the homeowner.
Yeah, Charles, I know it's not everything you wanted to hear, but it's the way life goes. Bradley O'Brien, if you need anything that's got to do with real estate, please give him a call, 720-370-7388, 720-370-7388. We've got a comment on that Honda recall in a minute. Boy, that guy was something. Tell me that guy wasn't something.
The facts keep popping up. Oh, yeah, and I paid.
No, we had no idea the roof was done, so you weren't home. No, but my wife was. Oh, and by the way, they delivered the shingles 2 days before, and she saw him pulling out of the driveway.
The roof was down, I went down with him and got a permit.
Yeah, that's right. Did you get a permit? Well, I had to go down with him. I thought that, wait a minute. But you didn't know he was doing
and now
the roof.
You're having this argument.
He wanted to keep the $4,000.
It's exactly what he wanted.
But at the end of the day, the guy we had down on gunpoint was from the roofing company coming out to inspect it for their own company's purposes, but they never let us know they were coming.
I bet he was freaked out.
Yeah, I got a fucking 14.
All right. Who do I got, Dragon? Oh, no problem. Vestair, I love these guys. Listen, you want to invest in property, but you don't know anything, or you know a little but not enough to actually put dollars where you're at. Vestera is a very interesting group. It's a turnkey solution. What happens is they find great economies around the country. Once they find an economy growing in a city, then they look for properties. The properties are good shape. It's not a fix and flip kind of scenario. So they find a great economy in a certain area, a growing economy. That's important. Then they find a beautiful property that's ready to rent out. You buy it. You have the deed. It's yours. No one else owns that property. It's yours. They will find a management company that they deal with that's going to run the management of that property and make you money each month just renting it out until you want to sell it. Maybe a year goes by and you can sell it for $100,000 more and you want to sell it, you can do it. Maybe you wait 2 years. Maybe you're happy just getting the rental income forever. Whatever you want to do, it's your property. It's your investment. But these guys have made a lot of money, and I'm talking millions for listeners like you that have invested. I know a couple that invested a couple $100,000, and now it's over $1 million. Barry's been around for, goodness, 40 years. All right? Check him out at VesteraTurnkey.com. VesteraTurnkey.com. That's it, gentlemen. Buddy who? Show's over. I went so long. We'll come back at the news. Yeah, we're done. I pulled a Martino. People are going to be pissed too because they're waiting 5 minutes to come back, and then when they come back, they're going to hear the news because Kelly messed up.
Well, if Doc's living proof, you can just turn your mic on now and talk to him.
Yeah, we're not really off the air.
He has done that so many times. The one that he really did is when he pissed Shannon off to the point where
the dipshit.
I was getting calls.
Yeah.
Right here in a commercial, smack during a commercial comes on and he goes, "You mean dipshit?"
Not dipstick, dipshit. Well, saying the funny thing is, because he actually reached over to push the button like he was. He's like, why would you?
Were you guys here?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, because Tommy was home. I believe, wasn't he? Yeah, Tom was home.
I just started getting my phone.
No, Tom was here.
No, Tom was home.
Oh no, you're right because he was sitting where you are.
Yeah.
My phone blew up. I forgot where we were.
I think you were in Vegas.
Yeah, you were in Vegas.
Have a Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year.
Have you been in the Sphere yet?
Yeah, we did the Spear experience. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't see. I differ on the concert thing. I guess most people would want to see a concert there. I don't know if I want to see a concert there. I mean, it would be cool, like Pink Floyd or something like that, just because of all this shit.
Yeah, different.
But like to go see, like, I don't know, man. Hank Williams Jr. there would be a very strange thing.
Yeah.
So, but maybe some of these bigger ones. I'll walk down with you guys. I gotta grab anything.
Well, it's just easy. It's just download and paste in a folder all the time. Yeah. That's all good.
Yeah, like I woke up to like 7 texts saying she wasn't here. I'm like, okay.
Great. That sounds fantastic.
No problem.
Thanks for making my day better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I could only imagine just killing myself in the middle of it.
That early? Janet? Oh, no, man.
Uh-huh.
I remember. I just did that around the house show. Remember that?
Yes. With Keith Moon, Ken Moon,
funny,
whatever
dude.
it was. Yeah.
We'd get a bunch of phone calls, and they started asking me how to fix shit, and I just make stuff up. Or they'd be like, so I'm just going to shift the valve and move over the flux capacitor. You think that's a good idea? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I do.
That'll work. Yeah. Done. There. There's that folder's already up and running for you.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much. And I'll put that 10 there for him.
It should be. Yeah, it should already be in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You already did it?
Yeah. 10.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, I see it down there.